Today's episode is brought to you by our own bonus episode.
Figs?
Figs!
That's an exotic fruit?
Figs are exotic.
They're pretty exotic.
Yeah, where do you find it? Thank you, Mikey.
I don't know, at the fucking store?
Jesse, can you back me up?
It's not impressive at all. Figs just follow Armenians wherever they go.
True.
Download Maddox vs. the Universe from iTunes, Amazon, or madcastmedia.com. Welcome to the best debate in the universe. Every debate in the universe, from Tide Pods to false gods. With over 2.5 million downloads, I'm your host, Maddox. With me is the Maharaja of Moderation, Rucka Ali.
Yeah.
Welcome back. And joining us this week, moderator in training, Bart Baker.
Bart Baker. That is my name. I do parodies.
Big fan.
Just kidding, it's Brock Baker.
It's Brock Baker. Gotcha. Fooled ya.
The other Baker.
The other Baker.
Guys, today we're going to be debating what is the best pet. This is going to be I'm going to guess it's going to be one of the most contentious debates we've ever had on the show, and we've debated some really contentious issues. Whether or not you should punch a Nazi, whether or not pineapple belongs on pizzas, but it's the ones that, like these, that everyone has a very strong opinion on.
Oh yeah, people get violent.
People get really pissed off. So that voice you're hearing is Brock Baker.
Brock Baker.
Welcome to the show, impressionist, voiceover artist, YouTube comedian, or we could just say comedian in general, and also you are part of a new animated show.
I am. It's called the Blubberbs. The Blubberbs. It's about a town of people that live inside of a a whale.
A whale. Now Brock is pointing to my book, Fuck Whales.
This isn't a plug, by the way.
But anyway, yeah, back to Blubberbs.
Yes.
You said it's a city inside a whale?
Yeah, it's like a little town inside of a whale, and I play Jonah. It's from some of the guys from 5 Second Films. It's from some of the guys of Cyanide and Happiness.
Yeah.
And they came together and made this cartoon, and it's really funny, and you guys should go watch it, but only
if you're American. Yeah.
In America.
Yeah. They want to count those American laughs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They're the only ones that matter.
Yeah, but a lot of good people worked on this show. The Cyanide and Happiness guys. We just had Rob from Cyanide and Happiness on the show.
Nice. Yeah. He played Captain Ahab.
Yeah.
He plays Captain Ahab on the Blubberbs.
That's cool. Great dude. And I just hung out with Mike Russo.
Yeah. Rousselet.
Rousselet, yeah.
You're bad with names.
From 5 Second
Bart
Films.
Baker.
Bart Baker. Anyway, guys, we should get on to the debate this week. We're going to talk about what is the best pet. Now, I have a choice that I think is going to be controversial, but first, let's hear everyone's buzzers.
Ooh.
Brock, let's hear yours.
My buzzer? What is this?
There you go, and here's mine. And Rucka.
Ooh.
If you hear a buzzer from any of these fine gentlemen, that means somebody disagreed with someone else. We want to interject or point out a correction, which, by the way, I've never made any mistakes, so good luck with that. But Brock, as our guest this week, I'm going to give you first stab at the debate. What is the best pet and why?
I have a few choices. My real answer is the dog.
Okay, the dog.
Man's best friend.
Okay, and to that I have to say, that is, I'm just going to go ahead and say it right now. I know my dumb fuck listeners. All right, I know the dumb shit listeners are just going to go ahead and blindly vote for that option because everybody loves dogs. Yeah. I get it. Yeah. All right. Now, you've already won the debate.
Thank you.
Why why dogs? Why what's so good about dogs? Can you explain this to me as someone who likes dogs okay, but doesn't have one and doesn't get the hype of one?
Right.
Why dogs?
Boom. First of all, great companions. They're always friendly. Always. Even when they're biting you. They're doing it in a friendly way.
Okay, wrong. They are not biting you in a friendly way. I've been bit by dogs in a non-friendly way. And every single time I've been bit by a dog, it's preceded by the statement of their owner that, oh, she's so sweet. They're all sweet until they fucking bite your leg.
Maybe it's the shawarma-flavored cologne you douse on yourself.
Rucka, I don't like the way you said that, and I don't know why you picked shawarma specifically.
Sorry for the way I said it.
Yeah. A little bit too much ethnic flair on that slur. Okay, look, I don't think it's the way I smell. I just think that dogs are dipshits for the most part. And by the way, Brock, in my book, and this doesn't say, it sounds like a plug, but it's not. I just want to mention that in my book, I talked about dog lovers and how this point that you brought up that dogs are always friendly is a bad thing. Dogs don't judge you, and that's a problem. Dogs can sit there in your bedroom watching you commit marital infidelity, have an affair, and guess what? The dog's still going to lick your hands.
Yeah.
Not caring where they've been.
Dogs love infidelity.
Dogs,
That's a fact.
they're indifferent to it. You might look. You could be a serial killer. You could be a dictator. Dogs still love you just the same. Hitler had dogs.
Yeah. That was a Norm Macdonald bit.
Oh, did he really?
About Hitler's dog. It's like, I love Hitler. Like his dog,
Oh,
his
okay.
dog.
Was it Rob from Cyanide that said there's like a Hitler rule? Like,
Yeah. It's
Hitler-
Godwin's law.
Hitler will come up
Oh,
within
right,
any
right,
debate.
right.
As time goes on, the longer it goes on during a debate, the probability that Hitler will come up
Comparing
approaches
someone
infinity.
to Hitler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Hitler already came up in this debate. You're welcome, guys. We
Few minutes in.
completed. Yeah. The Madcast mission. Actually, I take pride in the fact that Hitler doesn't often come up on this show, but Hitler did have dogs. Two of them, Stasi and Blondie.
German Shepherds.
German Shepherds, of course,
Classic.
German Shepherds, which I have a very sad story. So near the end of Hitler's life, when he was trapped in the bunker,
Mhm.
and
How sad already. Keep going.
Ava Braun. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm getting to the sad point. If you're a dog lover, we'll see. Testing you guys.
Oh no. Oh
Yeah.
no.
We'll
This
see
is-
how much sympathy you
oh
have.
no. This
for-
is Marley and me all over again,
Mm.
but with Hitler this time.
I hated that dog in Marley.
The Marley dog.
Yeah, I that's the worst movie you want to bring up when you're trying to win votes for dogs.
Never seen it. What's a brief summary of Marley and me?
Owen Wilson and Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah.
How did I even see this movie? Was I on an airplane or something? And they find some shitty dog,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And he's like the worst untamed,
Mm-hmm.
worst dog on earth. Just destroys everything. Cannot be trained. And they just keep they keep him till he's old and eventually dies of old age.
They,
that's
that-
pretty
that's
much
it. That's the whole fucking-
That's
that's
pretty
the
much the movie. Yeah.
What a shit movie.
Yeah.
Again, one of these. My editor, a long time ago, when I was talking to him about writing my first book, he was talking about how to write a bestseller. He said, look, you just either have to have a big following and write a really good book or make Howard Stern's girlfriend cry. And that he was referring to Marley and Me because that book became a huge bestseller after Howard Stern's girlfriend went on one of these talk shows and talked about that was her favorite book. And it was
Really?
this tearjerker. And that book blew up because of that.
Wow.
Yeah. But speaking of tearjerkers, back to Hitler.
Mhm.
Oh,
He's in the bunker.
Oh God, no.
He's in the bunker. His final days. He's losing the war on all fronts.
Mm-hmm.
And the Allies are moving in towards Germany, and he's super paranoid. He doesn't trust anyone, even his closest advisors. Now, one of his closest advisors, I don't remember. I think it was Himmler or Goebbels or one of the
Himmler.
two. Himmler. Yeah, there was
Yeah,
a
there was a
Himmler.
Himmler. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
gave Hitler.
There's also an Adolf Eichmann.
yeah, there's an
Wow.
Adolf Eichmann. That's right.
Mhm.
He was very popular at the time.
Adolf and something both popular names at the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not so much anymore.
Not so much anymore.
It's a shame.
No, I'm okay with that. But let's let the record state. Rucka's writing this down.
You're okay with
Brock
Hitler?
is okay with that. No, wait, no, I'm not okay with it.
What? Okay,
Wrong.
Back to the story.
Back to the story. So one of his closest advisors gave him a cyanide capsule
Okay.
that he was supposed to take in case of emergencies if he needed to, if the Allies were moving in and he was, afraid of being captured.
Ooh.
So they gave him.
I think I know where this is going.
Yeah. So they gave him the cyanide capsule, but because Hitler was so paranoid,
How
he
does
couldn't
he
trust
know?
anyone. Yeah,
Yeah.
How does he know it's real cyanide? It
Yeah.
could have been a sugar pill,
Mhm.
and then he
then
wanted
he's
to
fucked.
test.
Yeah.
And he wanted to test if his advisor was being loyal to him, even till the end.
Wow.
So he took one of the cyanide capsules, and he gave it to his dog.
No.
Yep.
No.
Sure enough, his dog died.
Damn it.
What a monster.
That
And-
dog could have still been alive today.
Hitler killed, in his final moments, he killed his own dog, which, by the way, he loved. And what happened after he killed his dog is he became incredibly depressed. And so, losing the war, having a shitty ideology, all these terrible things, and then on top of that, you just killed your own dog.
Yeah.
And now his closest advisors all think he's an asshole because now it's like, oh.
Now they think he's an asshole.
Well, yeah, it's at that
Yeah.
point, he even lost the admiration of his closest allies
Yeah.
because he was like, oh, yeah, I don't trust you guys.
It's like all that other shit.
Yeah.
totally cool. But hey, man, don't kill your own dog.
I read a lot about this Hitler's dogs, and Eva Braun, Hitler's wife, hated the dog. She had her own dog, and she hated Hitler's dog. And according to Hitler's, I guess, nurse or maid or whatever, there's accounts where Eva Braun during dinner would kick the dog under the table. Yeah.
God.
Exactly what you would expect from Hitler's wife.
Right.
Kicking a dog under a table. Anyway, Brock, I would say that this quality that you say is a good thing about dogs, that they don't judge you, that they're always happy, that they like you unconditionally, is a bad thing. Fuck Hitler's dogs.
Wow, now that you made us all cry for Blondie or whichever dog Hitler killed.
Yeah, it was either Blondie or Stasi. I think Stasi was Hitler's dog.
Stasi. Blondie?
Blondie's the other one. Blondi.
Yeah.
Still a German Shepherd? Not
Yeah,
like
they're both German Shepherds, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Anyway, so go on. Tell me more about this wonderful animal that we're all supposed to lust over.
Yeah, I mean, even when they're biting you, like they're wagging their tail. Like they love biting you. Which is a great quality
Again,
that I look for in an animal, you know?
You want an animal to bite you? I mean, what are these, like, playful, like, love bites you're getting when you're,
sometimes,
cuddling?
Sometimes they break skin, but they're doing it out of love.
They're not doing it out of love. Dogs don't understand anything. Okay, let's talk about this, because I know it's going to come up. The intelligence factor, right? You think dogs are smart?
I think they're smarter than most pets.
Okay.
Maybe like average intelligence. Like all animals, I think we can all agree that all animals are dumb. None can read books.
Correct.
But I think dogs are, as far as pets goes, average intelligence.
I think most babies are smarter than most pets, most animals. And I wouldn't say babies are smart.
I mean, I can agree with that.
I would say babies are dumb as shit.
Yeah, babies are dumb as shit, but I agree that babies are smarter than animals. Like they're
This is the most I've seen Rucka nod in an episode. I feel like Rucka is really, I think we're connecting on this one. Right, Rucka? Yeah. So, but back to dogs. Okay, just because they're supposedly, they're so smart, right? Dogs are so smart. How come dogs haven't fucking learned that we hate their shit?
I think they know, though. I think they do it like out of spite. Like whenever, like my roommate has a dog, and like every time he takes a shit, he like stares at me. He's like, "Yeah, you're gonna have to clean this up, motherfucker."
Yeah,
like he knows.
Okay, so doesn't this then puncture the whole first argument, the first motion you made in this debate, which is that dogs are friendly and they're happy and they're always, but it sounds like you're painting a picture of a very spiteful animal.
It's still friendly though. Like I still give my friends shit, but I love my friends, but I still tease them. I still shit in front of them and expect them to clean it up.
Brock, I don't think you actually do. And I like you. I like you plenty. We've hung out a bunch of times.
Yeah.
I've known you for years. You're a great dude. But if you took a shit on my floor, I think that'd be it, man.
Yeah.
I'd be like, yeah, I'm not. If anyone suggested inviting you to another party or event or something, I'd be like, no. Not that guy. He takes a shit on your floor. I
would do it like on the hardwood floor, not on the carpet.
That's better.
I have manners.
That's better, but it's still bad. It's you're still picking the shittier of two options. Literally. The best option would be just to go into the toilet like a man, like a real person, like a human
I'd
being.
rather not. I'd rather just like squat, make eye contact, and just squeeze out a shit. Sometimes, I mean, like it's often watery. I have a very bad diet.
Oh, gross. I forget the comedian. I think it was either Daniel Tosh or who's the other one that everyone hates?
Dane Cook.
Dane Cook, yeah.
That's like the first thing I think of. Dane Cook.
And I don't know why. Honestly, like looking back at the last year we've had with comedians, how much of a short end of the stick did Dane Cook get for telling jokes people didn't like?
Right.
Everybody hated him.
Everyone went from loving Dane Cook to hating Dane Cook.
Yeah, because it became trendy to hate Dane Cook.
Yeah.
Oh, Dane Cook, we're supposed to not like Dane Cook.
Right.
But Dane Cook was like a decent comedian. I've laughed at his jokes.
Oh,
Look,
yeah.
They're bro-y.
I used to love Dane Cook, like when I was in college.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I loved him, but he was like bro-y. He had like the frat humor. He was like a good-looking dude, and everybody was kind of envious of that as well. I think it was a lot of comedian envy.
I think so, because most comedians like are ugly as shit.
Insecure.
Like I think the ugliest comedians are often the funniest.
Let's test this theory. Who's an ugly comedian that's funny?
Well, I would say Louis C.K.
Okay.
Like, that's kind of a touchy subject now, but like,
He's
ugly dude, hilarious though.
Yeah. Louis C.K. I wouldn't say. I'd say he's average.
Average.
Yeah, he's kind of just average
looking or average like comedy.
Average looking, funny comedy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know if that holds. I'm thinking of some really hot comedians.
Yeah,
No, not really. They're not. They're not hot. First of all, the problem is most of the comedians are guys. I don't think a lot of guys are hot, but I feel like a lot of comedians who are really funny. Dave Chappelle, he looks kind of average. I wouldn't say he's hot, but he's not ugly. Not ugly. Who's an ugly comedian though? I can't think.
Ugly comedian.
Who?
Yeah, Gilbert Godfrey.
Gilbert Godfrey. Yeah, he's got those weird eyes.
He has this really sexy voice though. I really love his voice. There we go.
Like Angel
Ooh.
singing.
Yeah. Yeah, like there was a song in The Return of Jafar with Iago singing, and it was the most beautiful thing I've ever heard.
Mm-hmm.
Gilbert Gottfried singing, and I'm like, I want more of this.
Yeah. I think you're the only one. You and his agent.
I want a whole album
Two people.
of Gilbert Gottfried singing.
Yeah. Well, what does this have to do with dogs? Rucka's not even keeping us on track today.
Yeah, nah, too fascinated by this.
Yeah.
All right, so let's backpedal here for a second. Is backpedaling when you actually go backwards? Because when
Yes.
you backpedal, it actually stops the bicycle.
Depends on the.
All right.
Rucka's favorite new sound effect.
Gilbert Gottfried, Dane Cook, comedians being anti-Dane Cook because he's better looking than them, going back to...
Oh, yeah, Dane Cook. The joke I was going to tell you is either Dane Cook or Daniel Tosh, where he said that his dog will shit while he's eating and take a look at him right in the eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And he said as a kind of a revenge, what he would do is he would starve his dogs for like 3 days.
Okay.
Until they're like famished and and he would eat in front of them so they know they're really, really hungry. And then after they're super hungry, he'd finally set out two dish bowls full of their pet food.
Mm-hmm.
He'd set them apart about 3-4 feet, and then while they're eating, again, their first meal after 3 days, he'd squat right between them and take a big shit. And he'd look them in the eyes and be like, how do you guys like it? How do you guys like when someone's taking a shit right where you eat, idiot? I forget the comedian, but anyway, that's basically what dogs do. Dogs aren't smart enough to know that humans don't like this behavior. Dogs aren't smart enough to drive. They're not smart enough to empathize. You think dogs can empathize?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I was agreeing with you. Like,
Okay.
dogs are dumb,
what
but
do you
they
mean
still
they can't
are.
empathize? They know when you're sad and they come comfort you, don't they?
Yeah, I think I do. Like some dogs can predict seizures. I know that.
Yeah,
like
a
some
trained
dogs.
a trained dog.
Yeah.
Sure. Right.
I know.
Can you predict seizures?
I think
Yeah.
dogs know when you're sad. Yeah, dogs are like great, like therapy animals.
Oh, okay. I'm so glad you brought this up, this fucking therapy thing. Now, here, that really triggers me because every fucking dipshit in LA, and I don't know if this is a phenomenon going on in the world, but everyone has these fake medical ID cards for their dogs. And you know they're fake because they don't fucking exist. It's not an ADA recognized disability or need to have a comfort animal. If you can't leave the house without your comfort pet, stay the fuck home, or the next trip you leave your house, make it to a therapist. Because if you can't even leave the house without having an emotional breakdown without your fucking pet, you've got serious problems. I don't want you around me. Your dog might run away. Your dog might die. And I can't be around somebody who's so unpredictable that they might have a meltdown in a grocery store. And by the way, stop bringing your dogs to grocery stores. Ralph's in Los Angeles, our local grocery store, the big one, has a sign out front that says comfort animals are not recognized by the ADA.
Comfort animals.
Yeah, don't bring them in. Emotional support animals are not recognized pets.
Even horses.
Especially horses.
You can't bring a horse into a grocery store.
Hell no. Hell no. Thankfully.
Just ride your horse into the grocery store.
Brock, you have a dog.
My roommate has a dog, but there is a dog in my house, and yeah.
Okay. And you love this dog?
Yeah, I do.
Can you agree with me that dogs don't belong in grocery stores?
Yeah, I do agree with that.
Unless it's a properly vetted, properly trained service animal.
Yeah, I don't want dogs around food.
Right.
Like, or any animals around food. Like,
Right.
What do you mean service animal?
A service animal is an animal that has been properly trained to do a specific task.
Well,
What?
no shit, but for what?
For people who are blind.
Okay, then that for blind.
Yeah,
that's
those
Because
those
these days,
types of dogs.
everyone has a fucking dog, and you can take it anywhere, and you just go, oh, service animal,
Yeah.
and they let you go on.
Yeah, and then they people love to do this one. You can't ask me what it's for.
Yeah.
You can't. Hey.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
I'm
it's-
with you.
it's
But
bullshit.
when you say a properly vetted service animal, you are emboldening these people rather than saying a dog that's there to help the blind.
Yeah.
That's the one exception. I remember being in a restaurant and somebody had, and this was 15 years ago. Somebody had a dog in a restaurant, and we're like, "Oh shit, there's a blind person here! Oh my god!" And this was the most well-behaved dog. It's a blind man's dog, right? An actual eyesight dog, whatever you call
Seeing
it.
eye dog.
Seeing eye
dog.
yeah.
They are trained to perfection. They don't fucking flinch.
Yeah.
Right.
They don't fucking bark.
Right.
They don't. They're perfectly trim. They don't fucking shed anywhere. They're the only dogs you were allowed to bring into an establishment that serves food back in the good old days.
Mm-hmm.
And then suddenly the dog let out one bark, Arf! And like every head turned, and the person like grabbed the dog and like walked out and got on the phone with whoever, kind of like, we need to get to the bottom of this. Why did this dog just let out one bark?
Yeah.
This is like something Brock Barker wouldn't put up with.
Barker.
Yeah. Anyway,
I get it.
but yeah, I mean those are the good old days. Now it's like everyone who suffers from anxiety
Yeah.
gets to take their shitty fucking Yorkie in their purse and on the floor anywhere they go. The fucking supermarket, restaurants, like anywhere you fucking airplanes. There's no fucking standard.
No.
What about the humans who are allergic?
Right.
What about the humans that don't want dog hair in their food?
Exactly. That's the point I make. You guys don't. Your comfort does not supersede my discomfort. People have allergies.
Mhm.
People have problems with your fuck ass dog.
That
What?
does not relate, though, to if dogs are a good pet or not. They're a great pet, but just
Yeah.
don't take them.
Why are they a great pet? Why are they a great pet? What do they do for you?
They make you happy. They make you happy. Yeah, they're great companions. They're pretty mid maintenance.
Really?
Mid maintenance.
Not
No.
low maintenance. Certainly not low maintenance. I'd
Maybe.
say like it it depends on the breed of dog.
Really?
Okay.
Mid maintenance.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing that's wrong about that. Everything. Because dogs shed,
Yeah.
dogs smell, dogs slobber, dogs scratch, dogs bark. Dogs always need attention. If you don't, you can't just forget about your dog. You have to. I've had so many dates ruined. I've had so many outings with friends ruined. I've had just like really nice events ruined because these people had to go back home and let their dog out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's the thing.
Yeah. Oh, I gotta walk my dog. This is an animal
Like
you have to walk.
Like 3 times a day, right?
Yeah.
Or at least twice a day.
A
Jesus
crazy amount.
fucking
Twice a day.
Christ.
Okay,
Yeah.
maybe higher maintenance than other
The
animals.
walking
Okay.
them is the worst part. It's like you can't fucking go anywhere.
I've never owned a dog. I've only been around dogs.
You're like-
so- yeah.
You're like one of these people that talks about how magical babies are, and you've never owned one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe I'm not the best at defending dogs, but hey, I've grown up with dogs. There's always been a dog in my house. Like when I was a kid, I pretty much owned the dogs without actually, paying for their food and vet bills.
Yeah,
So,
that's the best way to have it. Look, I like dogs. I do.
Mhm.
I hate carrying their shit more than I like dogs. That's the whole gist, the whole crux of my argument, and why I don't own a dog.
What about like paying someone to walk your dog, like with the WAG app?
is this a plug?
Yes.
Now I have to go to an office somewhere. I have to get a job, a day job,
What?
just to support my fucking pet.
Well,
My animal?
You shouldn't have a dog if you can't pay a walker.
Okay, you shouldn't have a dog if you can't pay a walker.
Yeah.
Then isn't that the whole point though? Like,
What?
Isn't that part of the experience of having a dog? People tend to like this dog, and then you have to pay a walker.
Yes, but if you're like you said, you're going somewhere, you're going on a trip, or you're going on an outing, you don't want to have to worry about it.
I would pay to not just have a walker, but a feeder, a petter, and someone who's constantly there for my. In fact, I would just pay someone else to have the dog.
Just get like a robot house. Like
Yes.
train your dog to like walk on like a treadmill.
Yeah.
Like in the Jetsons,
Bring in the paper, open it up to the page I want to read.
Just get a robot house. It's the best way to own a dog.
Or how about just a robot dog that doesn't shit?
A robot dog. Yeah, there you go.
It's a fucking
from,
Black Mirror
Like from
episode.
Black Mirror, I was going to say.
Yeah, that just ends with me with a giant erection, and I'm super happy because everything works in life. I can't even think of an appliance, a household appliance that is more maintenance than a dog. What's one thing that takes more maintenance than a dog? Even cars. Every 30,000 miles, you get an oil change and a checkup, and you're good to go. Dog, fucking 30 minutes, it wants another thing. And you can never they're never satisfied. I fed dogs filet mignon, the best fucking steak. I fed them bacon. They eat it just like garbage. I've seen them eat a piece of popcorn from a gutter with the same appetite as a piece of bacon. Dogs don't understand when something's good, and people are making their fucking pets, their dogs now, these like dog eat cakes for their birthdays that look like human cakes. And they're just full of like shit and gravy and liver and garbage, and the dog's just gonna eat it like anything else.
I mean, it sounds delicious. Like I want that cake. Now you're getting me excited for dog cake.
I mean, maybe this infuriates me so much because people don't live in LA. Bigger cities like LA, New York. I've seen this in Oregon, in Portland, and I believe in Seattle. They have boutique bakeries for dogs where you walk in and everything looks delicious, but it's made out of liver, and it's fucking disgusting. Everything looks like a cookie, chocolate chip cookies, except the chips are actual kibbles. Is that what they call them? Yeah, dog kibbles. And then they have, different biscuits and things for dogs that'll break your teeth if you try to bite into it. They look delicious. They look like a KFC biscuit.
And they taste delicious.
I've
had.
You tried it?
I've had dog. When I was a kid, I used to eat like dog biscuits on the bus. I was like that weird kid. That would eat like dog biscuits and be like, isn't this funny, guys? I'm eating my dog's food.
It's
very popular.
It's rare that we've done this, but we may have to disqualify everything you say from going forward because I don't know if anyone who eats dog biscuits.
I was very popular.
You're a popular boy.
Yeah. They're like, oh, Brock's so cool eating dog biscuits on the bus.
Dog biscuit Brock.
That's what they called me.
I was at Petco once buying a thing for a friend's pet, because people who have dogs like can't get over their fucking dogs. So I was buying a gift for their pet, and I thought, wow, what a perfect gift for someone who has lost touch with reality. So I'm buying this thing at Petco, and this is one of the times I saw all these like gourmet doggy treats, like the cookies and things and biscuits and cupcakes and things like that. And I looked at the girl behind the counter and I said, "Hey, these pet treats are getting out of control, huh?" She goes, "I know. They look just like real treats." And I'm like, "You've tried one, haven't you?" And she's like, "No." I'm like, "You can tell me." She goes, "Yeah." I got the lady at Petco. You can get worms from that shit, guys. Stupid. Anyway, anything else you want to add to dogs before we move on to the real winner, the real pet?
Well, I already won.
Yeah.
So
I know how the voting's going to go on this. I wish you guys listening would really consider what's being said before you vote. I know everyone's just blindly going to vote for dogs.
Yeah.
But
we haven't even gotten to horses yet. I wish there was a neigh sound effect.
Yeah. Well, we can add that.
How about this?
No, that's not even close to a neigh. Speaking of neigh, I'll tell you what the real best pet is. Birds. Yeah. There's a fucking... Why don't you guys like birds? Birds are amazing.
Talons.
Talons?
Yeah. Painful.
You're telling me that something that every metal band aspires to have on the cover of their album is bad? Talons are fucking dope as shit.
They're sharp. They dig into your skin.
Yeah. That's why they're on every fucking quarter. And you know what those talons are holding? Arrows. I think. They're arrows, right?
Why would they need to carry arrows?
Quarters?
The U.S.
quarter.
quarter.
Yeah. They got like an eagle.
Yeah, there's an eagle on it.
Oh, yeah.
And in its talons are a bunch of arrows.
You know who else was into the image of an eagle?
Oh, boy. Say it, Godwin. Godwin's law.
Hitler.
Hitler. There it is. Hitler finally came up in the debate again.
Did he have a bird? Did he own birds too?
They also used eagles as their big bird.
So did he have like a pet eagle though?
No, he had a pet dog.
Okay.
He had a pet dog.
No eagle?
No eagle.
He's just like I just like eagles.
You know why? Because eagles and birds wouldn't hang with Hitler.
Eagles and birds?
Yeah.
Exactly. Thank you, Rucka. Good point.
Eagles aren't birds.
Yeah, eagles
Whoops.
eagles are birds, Rucka.
Eagles are mammals.
Yeah.
Like the bat.
Mm-hmm.
So eagles are badass. Vultures are badass. What other animal? Look, vultures fly around you, right? As you're about to die. They know. You're telling me dogs are impressive because they can sense seizures? Well, vultures are impressive because they can sense death.
Yeah, so good at sensing that they're going extinct.
Eagles are or vultures?
They're all going. Aren't they all endangered?
Vultures are.
And eagles.
Well, that's because our
Yeah.
Yeah. That's because our lifespan has increased and we're dying less. So that's why vultures, they're just running out of food.
they only eat dead meat.
They only
They
eat
only
corpses.
eat us once we're dead.
Yeah.
They only feed off corpses, not just like
We're the only
worms
thing
or
they eat, huh?
Yeah.
They can't grab them a nice possum.
squirrels. Yeah.
No. Possums only play dead. Vultures lose their appetite as soon as they find out something.
What kind of pussy ass bird
It's like
only eats what's already dead?
It's a helpful animal.
Bottom feeder.
Yeah. We need them. We need
We
worms.
need bottom feeders and worms.
You need, well, but not a bottom feeder, but you need worms to decompose. Otherwise, there'd be just corpses and upon corpses laying around if nobody
That would be
ever
awesome.
decomposed when they died. It would be awesome.
I want piles of corpses. Like
Then go to the fucking 1600s, Brock. Go
Okay.
check out the Black Plague, which, by the way, is making a comeback.
hell yeah.
In what was that country? We covered it in the news a couple episodes ago.
Offhand, I don't think
Macedonia.
the Black Plague was in the 1600s, but I could be
14?
wrong.
People just love
Yeah,
their
like
nostalgia. They're
1400s.
like, hey, remember the Black Plague?
Even earlier.
Bring it back.
Yeah, well, it's already back, Brock.
Remember
it's a real thing.
dysentery? Bring it back.
Oh yeah, it's coming back. Are you referring again to that one mouse they found in Santa Monica?
No, shithead. I'm referring to the story that I brought in to this very show where there was a mutiny on a cruise ship because the captain wouldn't take them to this island off of Macedonia that had the Black Plague, bubonic plague outbreak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bubonic or black? Are they the same thing?
Same thing, yeah.
Oh,
The Black
okay.
Plague is known as the bubonic plague because you
Okay.
get these, they're called buboes.
How many people died from it?
The Black
Bubos?
Plague?
No, the recent outbreak.
Oh,
in
the recent outbreak?
Macedonia.
I think they said 7 people have already
Wow.
died from it. Yeah.
It's
Not a plague.
Europe all
That is a
medieval
plague.
times all over.
7
again.
people. Boo.
Then why don't you go check it out?
Why?
Make
How
it
did they
8.
die from it? By the way, were they medicated properly, or were they too ignorant to know about modern medicine?
I don't know, man. But the
Well,
bottom line
you
is,
should know. And you say the Black Plague is making a comeback. You should know if it's actually killing people.
Making a comeback with 7 people.
Yeah.
Yeah, because with modern technology and sanitation methods, we're better able to contain the Black Plague.
Oh yeah, you can say the same thing about the common cold. It used to kill people. Now it's just a fucking pill pop away from being a non-threat. So
Oh,
you
really?
can say, oh, well, we have modern technology. Exactly. So it's not a fucking problem anymore.
It
You
is a
can say-
problem.
You can say the same about every fucking disease and fucking STD out
It's
there.
still a problem.
It used to kill people.
The flu is still a problem. The flu kills over 30 to 40,000 people per year.
The flu?
The flu.
The flu.
Which flu?
The regular ass influenza. The flu
Really?
kills 40,000 people
There's
a
like
year.
more than one type of influenza.
Okay, well, influenza, the flu, kills more people than car wrecks, than car accidents,
Really?
than terrorism, than Ebola, than
Oh,
everything.
Ebola. There's a fucking curse that will not die. How many people have died from Ebola? Period.
That's my point, Rucka.
Less or more than 7.
More than
Less.
7.
Less.
More than 7.
Ebola's killed like 3 people.
But the point is, the flu kills more people than a lot of things. It's almost in the top 10. I think it's number
Really?
10 or 11. Yeah, the
Damn.
flu. Lots of people die from the flu.
What about like hippo deaths?
Hippo deaths? Way low.
All right.
Hippo's a bad pet.
hippos.
Hey, but
killing
back to
people.
birds. Back
Yeah,
to birds. Let's
back
talk
to
about the
birds.
birds. Okay, first of all, only animal that can talk. And I don't want you dipshits to send me these dumb fuck videos of dogs saying "I love you" and stupid shit on YouTube. They don't know how to talk. They're making a noise.
You have not seen the movie Air Buddies?
Yeah.
Talking dogs.
Air buddies.
Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Brock, life is not a cartoon.
And you're saying
It's
you're
not a
saying
cartoon.
birds
it's a real.
can talk.
It's a
Birds can talk.
documentary.
Yeah, it's not a documentary.
Air Buddies is a documentary.
It's a documentary.
Documentary.
No. You know what?
All right, birds don't talk.
Birds do talk.
They just make noises.
No.
They imitate sounds.
Okay, but they're talking human words
So
and
do
languages.
dogs. They're
No,
just
they don't.
they're just imitating sounds that they learned how to say.
Do you
No, they
remember that toy in the 90s called the Yak Back?
Yeah.
It was like a little thing that you can like talk into
Oh,
and it would
yeah.
like repeat what you said.
Mhm.
That's what a bird is.
yeah.
That's what a human
Useless.
is. That's what an
Pointless.
animal. That's what a human being is. All babies,
Yeah.
babies don't know how to fucking talk. All they're doing is repeating sounds that you make to them until finally one day it sounds like words.
Yeah,
Finally, one day.
but they eventually learn to make
Yeah.
thoughts, and like birds are just like, oh, I'm just gonna
Mhm.
repeat what I've heard because I'm
Yeah.
a stupid animal.
No, they're not stupid. They're way smarter than dogs. Crows have figured out really complex puzzles. And by the way, crows, the way they think, they're saying it's different than any other animal thinks on Earth. They're able to recognize faces. They're able to communicate threats to other crows. Like, for example, they did a study one time at a university where they had someone walking the same path every day, and they noticed these crows would kind of fly away if the person put on a mask. And so the person put on like an intimidating looking mask and tried to make like aggressive motions towards the crows. Then when the person was walking without the mask, I think what the crows, the scientists studied the crows were somehow communicating to one another based on either pecks or their arrangement that the person coming was a threat. And then when the person wore a mask another time, a different type of mask, the crows weren't able to recognize the person as the threat and didn't act aggressively towards the person. These are really complex.
Wow, so smart. You put
Yeah.
on a mask and he doesn't know it's you.
Oh, animals communicate with each other.
You would know
What
You would know if someone showed up. If I had a mask on right now, you
I
would know it's me.
you're a person.
No,
What-
oh, great! You know that I'm a person, but what mask your identity? That's the whole point of a mask.
You, I would know it was you.
You wouldn't know.
You would need to wear fucking sleeves and gloves and fucking cover up all the hair springing out of your fucking neck for me to not know it's you.
Okay, it's not that much hair
All right.
coming out of my neck.
Like, what kind of mask were these people wearing to make these crows upset? Was it a Hitler mask?
Yeah.
No, it
Bring
was
it-
a
bringing it-
dog mask.
Bringing it back.
Yeah, it was a dog mask, and they're like, "Fuck that! Fuck that. It's
like-
a walking dog."
I like
Get
how
me the fuck
you're,
outta here.
I like how you think crows are special because they communicate with each other, communicate threats, not like any other animal that has ever existed.
Not that kind of complex threat. Animals, dogs are dumb. Dogs will just bark at you no matter who you are. They'll bark at a child the same way that they'll bark at a weightlifter. Anyone walking by, the dog doesn't fucking care. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. I know there's a thing outside. Shut up. Shut the fuck up. It's not that abnormal. It's a thing that happens. It's the mailman. It comes every fucking day. The dogs never learn.
No, I know.
Drives me nuts.
Dogs.
I'm not arguing that dogs are dumb. Like you can leave for like an hour and come back and they're as excited
Yeah.
as if you were gone for a week.
Yeah, and
Like,
there are these
I
like
get it.
there are these sob stories of dogs where like, you know, the owner died or whatever, and the dog will go to the train stop that the owner used to come out on and just wait for him. Again, another example of a dumb dog that doesn't learn. Dogs they're not even aware of their mortality. Reminds me of the Onion article where where it said scientists make a breakthrough and they teach Coco the gorilla about its mortality. And they kept showing Coco repeated images of gorillas dying and decaying until finally he understood. And then they showed a picture of Coco and he's just like using sign language to say, "Coco, sad. Coco, think life pointless." And the scientists were so happy. They're like, "We really made a breakthrough. We're so excited when Coco was depressed."
What does this have to do with birds or dogs?
Yeah.
That dogs don't understand mortality.
Neither do any other animal.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's some evidence that elephants do.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
Are those good
elephants
pets?
are one of the smarter animals. I will
I don't
will
think
say
they're
that.
smart or smarter.
They have great memory. They can paint.
I believe that's based on a cartoon.
Smart.
They cannot paint. They can. That is not smart. They cannot paint.
Every elephant can paint.
No.
They use their trunks. Their trunks wrap around the paintbrush, and they paint beautiful pictures every time.
Rucka, strike that from the record. I do not want my listeners
to be
misinformed.
Also, great pets.
They're not great pets. They're garbage pets.
You want some help here?
What do you got to say? Yeah.
Dogs are racist.
Oh, for sure. That's probably why.
Okay. How are dogs?
That's probably why Maddox would always get bit by dogs. Racist animals, yeah, for sure.
You're supposed to be making the case for dogs.
But I have to agree that dogs are racist. I saw
dogs,
that King of the Hill episode.
How are they racist?
You've never heard of dogs barking at people of another race?
Do they really?
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
It's a thing.
But everyone of any race has dogs.
Yes, but the dog smells the difference in different types of people.
Maybe it's based on
you,
the owner's
You wanted
reaction.
to push this and go into detail. I'm just saying dogs are known for barking at, different people.
Different people.
Well, I think if a dog is racist, then the owner's usually racist.
Exactly.
Like dogs.
Exactly. Dogs. Racism is learned, Maddox.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
the biggest
It's like
dumb
children.
shit. And you know what I hate most about like a dog lover who's like just fervently denying all this anything wrong with their dog? If you point out the fact that pit bulls generally, anytime you see a headline where another baby's face gets bit off
Mr. Worldwide
by a pit bull, what's Mr. Worldwide?
The rapper. Don't confuse him with any sort of pop culture
not
reference.
not Pitbull the rapper. Although he's
he
an
bites
argument
children
against you.
Also.
Yeah.
He doesn't make the case for dogs any better.
No, makes it worse, much worse. Yeah, and when you guys vote, I want you to consider Pitbull the rapper as well.
And
So
imagine Pitbull the rapper biting children.
Yeah.
Also.
Every time you read an article about a pit bull,
Yeah, another pit bull, and people are like,
Well, it's only because of the environment that the pit bull was raised in. If it has a good owner, it won't bite him.
but they never extend the same argument and the same courtesy to other humans. Like someone who's a drug addict or someone
Sure
who's
they
a
do.
thief or...
they make the same exact argument.
Nothing's
Nothing's your fault.
wrong.
It's the way you were raised.
All
It's
the
your
ruckus are-
parents. It's your
that's what
environment.
I would say.
It's something you would say.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
but they
just
don't extend...
you
but people,
treat
the
people.
ruckus of the world don't agree.
I've always said this. You treat people like dogs, and you treat animals like people.
No,
you,
I don't.
You expect animals to compete with you in every level, and you look down on them if they're not as smart and
Yes.
able as you. And then you treat people like they're these mechanical, conditioned beings that need to be trained to behave a certain way, like they can't think.
Yeah, well, okay, because thinking is automatic. It's an automatic process.
No, it's a choice.
Oh, it's a choice.
A choice that everyone can make.
Everyone can make that
Yes,
choice
they
to think.
can.
Wrong.
Hold on. Yes, they
Wrong.
can make it.
Shithead. Then how can you explain the news story I brought in about the girl who was found in India who was not
Okay.
who was not
maybe
trained to the-
if you were raised by another species
Yeah.
and you had no contact with
Oh.
you other people until you were 18 years old, then maybe it may be extra difficult for you to learn how to think, and maybe a group of Indian scientists in India are not the best people to teach that girl how to think and speak. Other
really?
than that one particular set of events, okay, alternately, maybe a fucking dog raised by the brightest people in the world might be closer to understanding language than a fucking dog raised in a fucking wilderness. Like I don't know where I was going with that. Not the point.
Not the point.
Okay, you're right. Because some girl was raised by wolves somewhere, and she can't learn how to speak. Therefore, nobody has the choice to think.
You think the choice? You think
Jesus
that
Christ.
thinking is a choice?
Yes.
Then why would anyone choose not to think?
Ask them. I'm trying to say everyone ought to think, and you're saying they don't have the choice.
I would never ask that
You
question.
choose to
I
not
would
think
never-
every day.
Wrong.
You choose to
Shithead.
evade every day.
I'm not evading anything. I am a critical thinker, and I wouldn't even presume that it's a choice of somebody who's, quote, not thinking. Because the interpretation of somebody's actions based on being, coming from thought, coming from thinking, coming from choices that they make, is an assumption based on your interpretation of that person. You cannot suss out whether or not someone is thinking independently on their own or not, right? How do you determine that?
How do I determine what?
How do you determine whether or not someone is thinking on their own?
I mean, I'm not inside their head, but
Yeah.
if they're behaving cohesively and they're speaking coherently,
According to you.
no, objectively.
Oh, okay. We'll get to this. We'll
Listen,
get to this.
everything you're saying, by the way, to bring up this for the third time, everything you're saying is exactly what Hitler believed, and the way he experimented on people was
No, straw man. No,
it's not a straw man.
that's a straw man. I'm not. You're making a claim that
You treat people like fucking mechanical gear, and I'm telling you that's the way Hitler saw people. He tried to shut off their rational faculty and turn them into obedient robots, and that's how you see people. Germany lost the war. Irrationality won it.
Okay.
How's
that's
that
not
a
how I
straw
see
man?
people.
I'm
Because
not putting
you're
words
saying
in your
that's-
mouth.
You're saying that's how I see people. You're literally
That's
putting
what
words
you're
in my
arguing for.
No, I'm not.
You're saying
No, I'm not.
people don't have the choice to think.
Rucka, given the choice to be poor or rich, no one would choose poor. Given the choice to be smart or dumb, no one would choose dumb. Given the choice, except Brock, and bringing it back, dogs. I believe.
Yes,
oh, yeah.
But if you
Dogs.
don't,
I would love to be
if
dumb.
you choose not to think, then you're not going to think about how to not be dumb and how to not be poor. Anyway, do you want to argue about this again,
No.
or do you want to
We'll
get back to your
we'll get
little
it later.
pets?
I want to talk
All right.
about birds.
All right.
Okay, the thing that people tend to like about dogs is that they're cuddly, they're snuggly.
Yeah, you can wrestle with them.
You can great. Why would I?
You can body slam them if you want to.
I will. Yeah, but in a playful way. You can't really take it out on a dog. You'll break its rib cage. If I elbow slammed a dog, I will fucking destroy that dog. And by the way, and then there are these new breeds of dogs I'm seeing everywhere. They're like the Great Danes, I guess. Are the new breeds? I don't know.
Those, Great Danes are new. They're like past 5 years. Like
Brock, I can't tell if you're fucking with
Marmaduke,
me.
Scooby Doo.
Yeah. Okay. Well, what's the dog?
They were based on that. Those came first.
What?
Marmaduke and Scooby Doo. Like there was no Great Dane.
There
at
was
the
no
time.
Great Dane before that.
And then scientists were like, we need to engineer a dog that looks like Marmaduke.
Now, here's the thing. You guys could be fucking with me right now, and I don't know. I really don't know when these like fucking, because I've never seen them before, and I see them walking around, and these look like they look like ponies.
Oh, they're huge. They're like
huge.
the biggest dog.
Yeah. Like how much dog do you need?
Like, yeah, they're gigantic.
Why do you need this like giraffe-like dog that you're parading about town? That's like its stomach comes up to my eye line.
Oh yeah.
I'm like 6'1". I'm a tall dude. So these things come up to you come up to these things' knees.
That's funny.
It's
Yeah.
because he's short.
Yeah.
But how much fucking dog do you need?
That is a lot of dog.
Okay, so if even that dog, take the biggest dog possible. If I body slam that thing, if I slammed it into, I would still demolish
You'd
it.
have to be very strong to be able to pick up like a Great Dane. Like,
I know.
They're like
And thank
200
you.
pounds.
Thank you for the compliment, Brock. I am. I can take any dog. You show me the most vicious fucking dog, I can take it in a fight.
The dog from the Sandlot.
Yes,
movie
the
The
dog from the Sandlot. I did finally see that.
He actually ended up being a sweet dog, so maybe that's a bad
Oh, yeah,
example.
they're all
But-
sweet dogs. Yeah.
But the dog from the tales that they told. That dog, the mythical dog that they thought was evil. Could you
I
take
don't
that
know
dog?
what dog that is. That like a Cujo type dog?
Yeah.
Birds. Birds are the real
Gross.
pet.
Nah, I'd rather not talk about birds.
Birds talk. They climb on you. They sit on your shoulder, and they're your companion.
And
They'll while you're reading, the bird will just sit there and chill.
they're constantly making noise.
Mm-hmm.
No, they're not constantly making.
Some of them are.
Depends on the bird. Depends on the environment. Oh.
They're constantly wanting crackers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you shouldn't
I
feed
probably want a cracker. Like while you're trying to sleep.
Brock again. You're living in a cartoon, sir. Birds do not actually eat crackers. I mean,
He's
they can.
living in a cartoon. The guy who
Birds
brings
never
up,
eat crackers.
Oh yeah, but I guess Brock literally was in a cartoon at the top of the show. We talked the blubberbs.
I want crackers all day long.
No bird wants crackers all day long.
Feed me nothing but
They'll
crackers.
get sick and constipated. Here's the thing about a bird. Okay, the best. I would say it's the second best type of animal shit to have to clean up, because bird shit, when it's normal, just comes out wherever it lands. Don't touch it. Just let it dry, and then you pick it right up with a little
Second best,
tissue.
you said?
Second best,
What's
yeah.
first best?
Cats.
Huh.
Because cats bury it.
Mm-hmm.
They bury their shame. They know.
They are housebroken.
Cats are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Although they still smell. But we'll get to, we may or may not get to cats. But anyway, birds are the pets. You can cuddle with them. Birds too.
No, you can't.
Yes, you can. Look up bird cuddle on YouTube. You'll see tons of videos of people cuddling with their birds.
Can you wrestle birds?
You can not.
Not.
No. you
Birds
can't.
suck.
Birds do not suck because you can't wrestle. You can't wrestle dogs either.
Yes, you can.
Play wrestling doesn't count. It's like wrestling your girlfriend.
You can really wrestle a dog if you want to.
No, you can't. No, you can't.
What do you mean you can't?
No, you can't wrestle.
Why can't you?
Because you'll hurt the dumb
Get
shit
into
animal.
a ring with a dog.
Rucka, let's
Yeah.
say you're a pet owner and you
Okay.
own this dog that loves you.
Yeah.
And then one day, because it's a dog, it doesn't understand what you're communicating to it. Then one day you're trying to communicate to your animal, hey man, I'm about to wrestle you for real. The dog's not going to understand what the fuck you're saying. And then out of nowhere, this person that he loves and trusts picks him up and slams him into the ground. Can you imagine?
He should have known you were wearing a luchador mask. Like, the dog should have seen it coming.
See,
It's
the
like,
crows,
oh, shit, I
the
see
crows would have seen that coming, but not the dog.
Yeah.
Not the dog.
The
You slam a
crows.
dog into the ground out of the blue one day, the dog's going to be like, what the fuck, master? What's going on here? Are you still going to feed me? Because, by the way, that's all dogs think about constantly is food and shitting.
So do people. so does every
Yeah, in
animal.
all fairness,
Every animal
What do you think about?
thinks about food and,
Me?
and shitting.
I
and
think
sleeping.
about ideas. Sorry,
yeah?
dullards. Yeah, I'm a smart guy.
Boo.
I think about philosophy
Boring.
and ideas and the universe and the implication of things,
Yeah.
the gravity of situations. I think about world politics. I think about other planets. I have big things
But
going
hold
on
on,
in my head.
Maddox. That one girl was raised by wolves. Therefore, people don't think.
Okay.
Here it is.
There it is. Yeah, straw man argument. Another one.
Mhm.
Anyway, birds also, they're very fun. And once they're tame, they're nice. They don't fly around. They just chill. Birds just like to chill with you. And they're very nice animals. I had a pet bird one time, a lovebird. And I don't know why. I thought it was just my lovebird that did this, but it's a thing, I think, with the species. If you look up on YouTube, look up lovebird paper.
Lovebird. That's not a real. That's
It's
not
a
a
real
real
bird.
animal.
It's a real bird.
Lovebird. Who named it? Hitler.
Hitler did not.
Sounds like he would. Mhm.
No. The Dalai Lama, probably.
Okay.
But lovebirds, look up lovebird paper. Maybe I'll link to one of these videos on
Lovebird
madcastmedia.com.
paper.
By the way, guys, that's where you find the phone number for voicemail. I have a lot of voicemail later on in the episode. We'll also do some quick news headlines, but I'm going to post a video of a lovebird chewing paper. What they do is they preen themselves. They chew a piece of paper. You give it any kind of piece of paper, newspaper, printer paper, whatever, and it'll chew a very fine line of it. So it's like a string of paper. And then it'll take that paper and put it in its feathers. So it's kind of like an artificial extension for their tail feathers. And they like doing this. They like to decorate themselves. What other pet decorates themselves? No pet. Wrong answer. No pet. Dogs don't decorate themselves in anything but fleas
And mud.
and mud,
Yeah.
which is not decoration.
Yes,
They're
it
just
is.
getting dirty.
They want to look pretty. They love mud.
There is no comparison to a dog that is flattering. Hey, Brock, you smell like a dog.
Thank
is that
you.
A good, is that a good? Hey, Brock, you look like a dog.
Thank you.
Hey, Brock, you're tired like a dog.
Thank you.
You're hungry like a dog.
Yeah.
You shit like a dog.
Keep going.
You lick like a dog.
Yeah. No, these are all very true things.
You slobber like a dog. There's no adjective. There's no kind of compliment that comes from dogs that's a good thing. Can you think of a single one? I guess loyal.
Mm-hmm.
But loyalty, again, can be a vice. Just ask Hitler. Mm-hmm. Smart. Anyway, I think I got this. This is a slam dunk for birds.
I don't think so.
At least I made a strong case against dogs. Did you know dogs pant? I just learned this when I was writing the book, Fuck Whales. I just learned that dogs pant because they can't sweat.
Mhm.
So dogs, when they're panting, everyone, myself included, always thought, oh, this dog's happy. It's panting. That's
no.
not why they're pant. They're panting because they're about to have a heat stroke.
That's pretty common knowledge, though.
I didn't know that.
The dogs pant because they're
common knowledge of dog
they're
owners.
sweating. Yeah. Well, it's common knowledge to pretty much anyone with a brain.
Ooh.
Okay. So Brock, we've heard birds, we've heard dogs.
Yes.
You have a second choice you wanted to bring in.
I do.
What is it?
Of course, I am, of course, talking about a horse.
Oh, man. Horses are the worst. Fuck horses.
They gallop.
The gallop, yeah. That's dumb. Nothing cool gallops. Can we agree on that?
Everything cool gallops.
Think of everything cool right now, like Lamborghinis, cool. PlayStation 4s, cool.
Lamborghinis are cool because they have horsepower. Come on, dude. You just fucking
Yeah, but it's a unit of measurement. It's not how it moves. The locomotive force behind a Lamborghini is the engine.
They call
it's
it
not
horsepower because
hooves.
horses are fucking cool and they have nice hooves.
It's called horsepower because we use them. We grind them up. If we could grind up horses and put them in car engines, good.
I think they do.
No, they don't actually do that, Brock.
I think they glue the stuff together with the hooves.
My book, horse glue.
Your book is made out of horse glue?
I told the publisher I wanted to use horse glue. I don't know if they followed through.
I think they did.
Yeah, I hope so. But anyway, horses. Okay, great carpaccio.
I don't know what that.
Yeah, what's a carpaccio?
A carpaccio is a very thinly sliced raw meat that you can eat,
okay.
with some sauce. It's delicious. They serve it. It's very popular in Canada. Canadians eat horses. Did you know that? Yeah, not so friendly now,
a
are
lot
they?
of things about
What, horses or Canadians? Yeah. What other pet can you just ride?
Ostriches. A
pet?
bird.
A pet?
Mm-hmm.
Ostrich for a pet?
You can have an ostrich pet. People eat them too.
Oh yeah, because they're delicious.
An ostrich, once you ride it.
Ostrich.
If Oregon Trail had ostriches, you would never run out of food. Because if it was pulling your carriage, like a team of ostriches, anytime it died, boom, you got another meal. You got an ostrich burger. Ostrich is, it's similar to beef. Once you, they're
Similar
very
to beef?
leggy. They're very leggy. Yeah, the meat quality is similar to beef.
Not similar to chicken?
It's more
Really?
similar to beef, I
Okay.
think. Yeah.
Interesting.
Have you ever had an ostrich?
I've never had
burger?
ostrich, no. So I don't. Yeah.
Delicious animal, delicious bird. Bird you can ride. A bird that sticks its head in the sand. You know what? Obliviousness is bliss.
He's
Sometimes.
just like fuck this. I don't want to listen to this anymore. So I'm gonna just stick my head in the ground.
Yeah, that's what ostriches do. And I know that's not necessarily a good quality to have in a creature, but it's not necessarily bad either. I mean, what do you need to know about the troubles of the world, right? And I know this coming from me sounds hypocritical because just a moment ago I talked about how much I like to think about ideas and philosophies because I'm so smart. But there's something to be said about blissful ignorance. Anyway, what else about horses?
Yeah, you you can ride them to the store. You can go into the store with your therapy horse.
You cannot. Brock, so far everything I've mentioned about horses are good qualities. You can eat them. You can grind them up. You can make glue out of them. I think I might actually vote for horses on this one. I think horses are great pets to destroy. And have you played Red Dead Redemption?
I have. Great game.
Love it. Never got past like the first or second mission because all I did in the game was kill horses. And when the new game comes out, I'm gonna have a horse killing stream where all I do is kill horses. I found every possible way to kill horses in the game.
Like ride a horse onto the train track and just get off the horse and wait for the train to hit the horse.
Yes, correct. That's one way. You can shoot the horse in the head. in the head. You can shoot the horse in the neck. You can shoot its legs. Take its knee out. You can stab it. You can ride it into a ravine. I also found a way to make horses fall off cliffs. It's very difficult in that game because when you ride full speed towards a cliff,
just jump off.
No, the horse it still won't go off.
Tuck and roll.
The horse, not kind of. But
okay.
If you're riding it head on towards a cliff, like perpendicular to it, the horse will like an idiot, right? And try to stop. But if you're riding parallel to the ravine, right, to the cliff, and then at the last minute, you veer to the right, last minute jump off, the horse can't react fast enough. See ya, bitch.
Just like in real life.
Yeah.
Is there any other missions in this game? I thought it was just like about
horse
killing horses.
Yeah. You know what I liked too?
Dead Horse Redemption.
Yeah, I wish. You know what I like too about that game is when you kill a horse and any animal really, and you skin it, you can sell its skin,
Right. Jeez.
and a horse skin is practically worthless. And I think that the developers didn't intend to make that be a commentary on horses, but I took it as
Damn.
such. I love it. It makes me so happy.
Yeah, what is made out of? Is anything made out of horse skin? Is there like horse leather?
No. Horses are fucking worthless, shitty animals. Even saddles that you put on horses are made out of a better animal.
That's right.
Cowhide saddles on a horsehide dumbass rump.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn,
Ice cold.
I never even made that connection.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, horses, they have the goofy teeth,
they're great to have in apartments.
big ears.
Just,
Nope.
Yeah.
You
just
can't
have-
you can't pet them. You can't pet them in the wrong direction. Did you know horses have grain on their hide?
Grain?
grain.
Kind of like, have you seen those pillows that are those microfiber pillows where you pet them one way and it looks kind of like
right.
light color, and then you pet them the other way and it's darker?
Yeah.
Yeah, horse. It's like basically like horse skin.
So the pillows are made out of the horse skin, so you can't
I
make
wish.
stuff out of horse skin.
No, I wish. It's actually made out of leather.
There is a furniture store that's all horsehair.
What, for real?
Yeah, it's expensive as fuck. Like, you would have a wonderful time going in there and just smell.
All
You can
horsehair?
smell the horse.
Like tables made out of like matted.
It's mostly couches and
horsehair.
stuff, but yeah, some
just stuffed with horsehair.
or the exterior is horsehair.
Is that a thing
or
that-
like the legs of the couch, like the hooves?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and really think about the horse as an animal, okay? If you had to describe the horse's appearance like you would a human,
Mm-hmm.
a horse's mane, the mane is just another word for neck hair. A horse has a really long fucking hairy neck.
Mm-hmm.
It's a disgusting animal. If you can't do anything with it. These horse hairs that they get for this furniture store, Rucka, I presume they're probably just like dead horses or horses that are put down. And that's the other thing. A horse breaks its leg, you have to put it down. You can't do anything with it.
Just put a cast on him.
Mm-hmm.
Put a cast on him and then push him out to sea.
Yeah,
Cement cast.
Put him on a raft.
Yeah.
And like push him out into the ocean.
Garbage animals. All right, horses are garbage. Rucka, anything else you want to add to that? Any actual defense of horses?
No.
Good. Beady-eyed fucks.
Yeah. Sometimes they have to have like police horses. Don't they have like the cards on the side
Yeah.
of their face so that they don't get freaked out?
That's actually exactly
Yeah.
why they have those, is so that the horse doesn't get scared,
Get spooked.
get spooked, and run off into a direction. They're dumb animals. Rucka, what do you got?
Turtles.
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 Yeah. Man, someone hates turtles.
Turtles are garbage animals, too.
This guy used to have a shower curtain of the Ninja Turtles from like Nickelodeon.
Okay.
And he was like proud of it. He was like, "Oh yeah, I've got like an old school Ninja Turtles curtain
From like the 2000
from like 2002
2 series. Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't proud of it. I didn't
You
know.
weren't proud of it. That's why I brought it up.
I thought it was cool, but that's
You thought it was
before-
cool because you knew nothing about Ninja Turtles.
How fucking dare you? I know a lot about Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
I know a lot.
Name them.
Donatello, Raphael, Michelangelo, Leonardo.
It's Raphael. Yeah.
I don't even have a yes. Anyway, turtles,
Yeah.
garbage animals. I had a turtle once.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is this triggering you because it reminds you of something from the past?
it's a dumb shit animal. I lost it. I didn't lose it. My family did.
Yeah.
They lost the turtle. I was at school. I came home. I said, "Hey, where's the turtle?" I said, "Oh, it crawled under the couch." I said, "Well, can we get it?" And they said, "Well, we tried. The couch is too heavy. We all tried to move the couch
Well,
is too heavy."
Guess the turtle's dead.
Well, so
The
yeah,
couch is too heavy.
yeah. I guess I don't know what the problem.
How'd you get it in the house?
The couch was kind of jammed in the corner by the dining table, and so we had to move the dining table and then like a china closet and a couch just to get this fucking turtle. And so we thought, you know what? We'll just put some food out for it, and it'll come eat the food. And we pushed it in as close as possible to where we thought the turtle was. Every day, you know, we checked the food, and
Right.
it wasn't eating any of the food. So we replace it. We put lettuce there. We put carrots. We put the turtle pellets, whatever the fuck it eats.
Maybe he was just
Yeah.
picky.
Well,
He likes his gourmet like filet mignon.
Well,
Like,
apparently it likes its gourmet death because that's what happened
oh
to it.
no!
eventually the fucking turtle died, and we kept like trying to get to it. We couldn't find it. Years later, when we finally moved the couch, we found the turtle. It's just a shell. Yeah. Anyway,
His
Had a
spirit, his spirit
shitty-
lives
Wow.
on.
dumb animal.
That's
I mean,
nice.
you can't say that was a choice that the turtle made. We put food in front of it, and it chose death.
He wanted to die.
If that turtle had to put up with your shit,
yeah,
I
I was like, ugh.
he was tired
gotta
of
get away
hearing
from
you
this
guys
shit.
yell at each other about.
He's like,
shit.
I'm gonna crawl under the heaviest couch
Mm-hmm.
in the house,
Yeah.
so they can never find me.
And it's not going to eat any
It
of the
committed
food.
suicide.
It committed suicide.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
turtle side.
My
I believe
turtle,
is the
my turtle chose not to eat.
Yeah.
He chose to death. He chose
He was
Death-
on hunger strike until
Yeah.
you free him.
maybe he
hunger
was
strike.
poisoned by Hitler.
Yes.
No, he wasn't poisoned by Hitler. But if that was a bird, guaranteed the bird would come out and eat. And people are like, oh, it's cruel to have birds. You have to have them in cages. No, you don't, shitheads. My dad built a bird cage design. It was basically not even a cage. It was just a perch with a like a dropping tray for its poop and food and things like that. And once every couple days, you just take the newspaper or whatever and just brush it out.
Well,
Done.
here's the kind of turtle I'm talking about. One of those big ass turtles that like spends half his time in the water and half the time on land. You get him one of those big ass aquariums that's like there's like a slope of sand or whatever where like he can it goes like half the aquarium is water and half of it is dry land, and he can kind of alternate, and you can lift him out and kind of let him walk around as well. That's the kind of turtle I'm into.
Turtles bite. They snap at you.
Yeah, then so don't fuck with them.
So do birds.
Birds can. It depends on the environment.
All animals bite.
Depends on how you raise them. No, I don't know if all animals bite. I guess daddy longlegs don't bite because they can't.
They try.
Shitty pets. Shitty
Daddy
pets.
longlegs.
Spiders
are really good.
Spider people are creeps. Snake people are
Yeah,
creeps.
Yeah, spider people are.
Snakes are creepy animals.
Mhm.
Spiders are creepy animals. They're not pets. Stop trying to
Scorpions.
normalize. Yeah, scorpions, they're not pets. Stop trying to normalize your creepy little creature that you're keeping around. Just because you put it in an aquarium doesn't mean it's a pet. You can't even pet it. It'll kill you.
Yeah, pets are things you can
You
actually
can pet.
pet.
Yes.
Yeah.
We agree finally. Whoops. We agree finally on something. That is absolutely true. You should be able to pet your pet. But Rucka, the type of turtle you mentioned, the one that is half in water, half out water, we just had a story on this show
Yeah.
like 10 episodes ago where
Oh.
a turtle was drowning
Fresh.
in water. And the owner pulled the turtle out and gave it little
Well,
turtle
there's
CPR.
different types of
Yeah,
turtles.
tortoise I think is like a land.
The tortoise and the
turtle.
hare.
I think so. I think tortoises are always
Yeah.
on land.
They're
like,
slow. They smell. They commit suicide.
Yeah.
And
well, when they live with
There you go.
yeah,
they
like,
take
I
care of
don't-
themselves.
Can
They
you
kill
blame them?
themselves.
Come on.
Yeah.
have you ever heard a turtle have sex?
I have not.
It's horrible. Yeah. Wow, Brock, you really do. You
I've
really
seen
do
a lot
impressions.
of. I've watched a lot of turtle porn in my time.
No,
That's all I
really,
watch.
It's disgusting.
It's my main kink.
They are gross. They're gross animals.
They do look like an accident, don't they?
Yeah.
Like an evolutionary fuck up. Like you ended up with this big, awkward, shell-covered lizard that just can't get out of his shell, and no one really knows how the fuck he has sex.
So a turtle's whole point, like their whole process for existence,
Mhm.
right, and surviving in the wild, is waiting out your predator, hoping that your predator gets bored.
Mm-hmm.
Because eventually, the turtle's head's got to poke out. It's got to eat.
Yeah.
It's got to do something, or just commit suicide. Apparently, but a turtle's whole MO, their whole modus operandi for survival, their strategy for survival is waiting out your predator, just waiting in his hole. Can you imagine if Metal Gear Solid was like that? If you just sat in a box and you just waited until all the enemies died,
That'd be awesome.
just walked.
I want to play that game.
Yeah, Metal Gear Solid is fun. I guess that is a very
Wait until your enemies die of old age.
Yeah, man, that's a fun game.
I once asked a physics teacher,
Oh yeah.
what happens if, can you mutate a turtle and turn him into a life-size, intelligent person turtle?
Rucka, you are a child. You are.
Well, I was a child at the time.
Yeah.
I was asking a scientific question.
Mm.
They're the only stupid question is the question unasked.
That's
what
not
I
true.
said.
That's not true. That's absolutely false.
I heard
There's
somebody
a lot of
say
stupid
that
questions.
All right, so do you know what he told me?
What?
He said if you try to use some nuclear crap to mutate a turtle, he would likely grow a bunch of cancers on him
Yeah.
instead of growing into a life-size intelligent creature.
Right.
So my dreams are crushed.
Yeah.
But turtles are a great pet.
Turtles are not a great.
They don't ask for much. You don't have to walk them 3 times a day.
I'll give you that.
Now, how about this? You get a type of leash that sort of clips onto the turtle somehow, and you walk him down the street. They hustle.
Yeah, walk them down the street. What, you got a year to kill?
No, I mean, they're small, but they actually run pretty fast. It's kind of a myth that turtles are slow.
They run fast when they sense a threat. So you have to be a threat to the turtle to get that fucker
I'll
to
just
move.
threaten him a bit and hold the leash and then follow him.
Great. Where
Put
that
on,
luchador
put on like a shredder mask and like
Yeah.
chase him around.
maybe body slam him
Mm-hmm.
with a luchador mask.
Yeah.
This pet that you love and have cared for.
Have him fear you.
Yeah. You
That's
can't-
that's the point of owning a pet, is just having them constantly fear you.
There is no pet you can wrestle without hurting it. Maybe a giraffe. Giraffes are fucking goofy ass horses.
Yeah.
Giraffes
like,
are just
goofy.
have you ever seen like giraffes fight? They like
Yeah.
slam their necks together.
Yeah,
It's
they
so
break their
weird.
necks.
So crazy.
Dumb
There's another
animals.
accident of evolution.
Yeah.
I guess
Why'd you-
all evolution is an accident, isn't it? Series of accidents.
No.
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 Then what causes it? God.
The environment, an
yes,
animal's
through
ability.
a series of accidents.
It's not accidents.
Oh
and an
my
animal
God.
evolution is an animal's ability to adapt to its environment.
Yes, but the fact that it has the traits that enable it to survive is an accident. It's a fortunate one because it allowed the species to adapt, but it's not like evolution is a person somewhere that decided I'll give this animal this trait. It's it's
okay.
a series of accidents. Oh my gosh, instead of this disgruntled, begrudging, oh, okay, how about just like, oh yeah, you were right. You were absolutely correct.
'Cause
We
you're
agree
wrong.
for once.
It's not. That's
Why am I
one
wrong?
that's one mechanism with which evolution can
And
occur.
what's
is-
another?
Is automatic mutations. Another one is environment, and another one is
environment
another one
is what causes the
wrong.
music.
Another one is
Yeah.
selection. So humans can choose which animals they want, which traits in animals they want to evolve, and that's how we get fucking Great
That's
Danes
not
that look like ponies.
evolution.
That is evolution. It's selection. Selection is one mechanism. Mutation is one
what I
mechanism.
deal with?
Environment. There's like 4 different mechanisms for
Oh my
evolution.
God.
Shithead, why don't you read a fucking book?
Why don't you read a book
Why
that
do you read
wasn't
fuck
written
whales?
full of lies? A person breeding dogs is
That's
not
evolution.
the same thing.
You can evolve a
God.
species by
Okay.
naturally selecting it. The
Technic-
cows that we eat today
Yeah.
aren't the cows that we had
Right.
centuries ago.
I agree.
Forced evolution.
Yeah, that's still a
Okay.
method in which
Okay.
evolution can occur.
Okay. Thank you, Maddox.
You're welcome.
When I brought up evolution, I was referring to everything that happened up until
Yeah.
100,000 BC. Everything that people have consciously done since then,
Yes.
such as breeding animals together for livestock, such as breeding dogs together for domesticated purposes, such as breeding Armenians for more awesome greatness. What? Yeah, see?
Thank you.
I'm fair.
Yeah, you are fair.
Tough but fair. Then, yeah, you want to call that part of evolution? Fucking knock yourself out. But when I talk about evolution, I'm talking about the series of accidents, series of unconscious choices that were never made. There was not a, quote, selection made by the, quote, environment. The animals adapted through generations where one turtle was born with a shell that could withstand the environment. Another was born without one. Guess who lived to reproduce? That's evolution, Maddox. You give me the fucking look that you want to give me. I'm explaining to you things that a fucking 9th grade biology student understands, which you apparently
you're
don't.
explaining things to me that a 9th grade biology student would explain. His understanding of evolution.
Yes, a biology kid that hasn't gone on 2018 Reddit and read Maddox's latest favorite scientific study explaining that a fucking
So much
person breeding dogs together is, quote, evolution.
It is evolution.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
All
You think
right.
everybody's understanding of evolution?
Hold on.
The majority of people.
Let the record show I'm holding up a piece of cracker. Amazing that evolution crafted this amazing, perfectly shaped
Yes, actually.
snack with
The
holes
wheat,
in it.
Yes, the wheat that we eat, the wheat that made that cracker was chosen and bred by humans.
Yes, and that and then manufactured into this shape. Amazing how evolution made this happen. This is, according to Maddox, people doing something and creating something is evolution. Look at this amazing cracker that evolution gave us. How did this happen? Oh my God, this microphone. Evolution created this awesome microphone.
We're going to have a heyday with the callers next episode. I cannot wait till you get your ass blasted because you're fucking wrong. You're fucking 100% wrong. No, finish chewing the cracker and let me finish my statement.
Finish.
The callers aren't stupid, which, by the way, we're going to get to the calls in just a minute after the Rucka wrap-up. Rucka, do you have a wrap-up for us?
Yes. I've never been at a loss for words before. Please don't speak during my wrap-up. Listen, guys. I still hear you laughing. Okay. When we're done trying to equalize all people and say that we're all exactly the same and it's only the, quote, environment that made us different from one another, when we're done trying to make all human beings exactly the same, when we're done with that ridiculous egalitarian campaign of ignoring clear differences between individual people and trying to say like everyone is just a product of the, quote, environment and that consciousness does not exist, when we're done with that, we are then going to try to get rid of differences between species as well. And we're going to try and argue that people are no different than dogs. People are no different than birds. People are no different than chimpanzees. I mean, we're all fucking the same thing. And then when we're done with that, and this is going to happen, then when we're done with that ridiculous campaign, then we're going to try and equalize living organisms with matter. We are going to then equalize fucking orangutans and Armenian humans with a piece of cardboard. We are going to fucking... And then when we're done with that, well, I don't know where we can go from there. But that's exactly where this is going. Mark my words, it's not going to take very long. Thank you.
It's a Rucka wrap-up.
Okay. There's so much there that's wrong.
Not that much.
I wanted to buzz almost every word and then the silence in between the words.
What did you want to correct?
Just one long buzz. There's so much wrong about your understanding of science. Just matter itself. First of all, there's already a branch in science, a philosophy, a school of thought in science that says that life is a state of matter.
This is exactly what I told you is coming next.
No, Rucka. That's why I said you're wrong, Rucka, because it's not coming next. It's here. It's already here.
Okay.
You're wrong.
Yes, I agree that it's, quote, here. I agree that stupid pseudoscientists are already trying to make that case now and that the academics are pushing it. But just like it took a while for the social justice warriors to become mainstream, next is coming the animal and human equivalency movement, which we've seen but is going to increase. And then comes the people and animals are cardboard movement, which is going to say that there is no difference between a conscious organism or a living organism and a fucking cup of coffee. And you've just confirmed that the, quote, scientists are already saying that.
All right, without even looking at the evidence, without knowing which scientists,
you heard it here first.
Without knowing which journals it's published in, without having seen any of the evidence, knowing any of the facts, knowing any of the philosophy behind it, you just automatically make a conclusion based on your preconceived notions of what life is,
what do we need?
What matter is. This is the Maddox wrap-up. Yeah. Without seeing any of the evidence, you make a conclusion about life and the universe and reality. You haven't even considered the possibility that what they're saying may be a new paradigm shift, may be true.
Yes.
I'm not saying I necessarily agree with it.
Oh, of course. You would never make any bold statement that bold.
No,
you're
the Maddox wrap-up.
You're just paving the way for these guys.
At least being open-minded, shithead. There's a difference between rejecting something outright without having even considered the facts, the research that they've done, without even having read it. You haven't even read their research, and you've already
read it.
I did read it. Yes.
You've, quote, read it. REDDIT.
No,
you
I
read it on
articles.
you read a comment. Listen.
You don't know what I read.
I know you've read nothing. And by the way, what do the journals and the philosophy matter if thinking is not a choice and we're just automatons anyway?
Yeah. Well, anyway, we should move on to the debate from last week. I have a recap of the debate from last week.
Ooh.
And we debated whether or not quantum mechanics can prove reality is subjective. We put the vote to the audience, and with 69% of the vote, the audience voted no. That was before listening to the debate. So sometimes after listening to a debate, I like to ask the audience whether or not their opinions have changed. And after listening to the debate, with 69% of the vote, no. I feel like we got a bunch of objectivists tuning in to the show.
So 31% of people said yes, reality is subjective.
No, they said that yes, quantum mechanics can prove that reality is subjective.
Is that an objective fact?
I mean, maybe.
So
you realize, Rucka, that there is granularity and nuance in it. Just because some things are subjective doesn't mean everything or nothing is objective.
Yes, that is what it means.
No.
Yeah.
No.
If there are certain realms where reality is subjective. I mean, you just said reality is subjective. That was what they were voting on.
Well,
so 31% of people said that reality is subjective. Reality being reality,
not some parts of reality.
I see what you're saying. Okay, so
it
maybe
could not be a simpler thing to point out.
Maybe it needed to be phrased that
in a way that Maddox can follow. I understand.
No, can you not finish my
I'll
fucking
let you
sentences?
finish
Because
your
you're wrong
sentence.
100% of the time when you finish my sentences.
That's because you changed what you're going to say.
No. It's because you don't know.
All right,
Everyone always
What-
thinks, people think they know what I'm going to say because
Nobody knows
I
what
know,
you're going to say.
you're not, you can't match my intellect.
This is true.
You guys don't know shit.
All right.
Don't know shit about how I think. You don't know my philosophies, my beliefs. They're really smart. They're out of the box. That's
Yeah.
what they used to call me.
They're so
back
out
in
of the
college.
box.
Out of the box Maddox.
They change by the moment.
They don't change by the moment. They change based on the facts that I read.
Yeah.
You know, if somebody presents a paper in an accredited journalist
Amazing.
that's saying it's a new paradigm shift.
Did you say
then I'm
accredited?
going- yes.
Slow. Be still, my beating heart. Accredited.
Oh, I'm sorry. You know,
know,
it's the ruckas in the world that make it impossible or difficult for the James
Mm-hmm.
Elliots of the world to propose a new idea or philosophy, because that's what
Oh,
James
yeah.
was
I'm the
arguing
one
last week.
stopping
yes,
him.
because you don't even consider the facts, you don't consider the information. You
I'm
don't
the one
read the
sticking up
papers.
for facts. You're the one
You're
trying
not.
to turn them into a matter
No.
of subjective opinion.
Because,
do you know?
Rucka, there
Do
are
you know who
things-
else the universities
Oh,
loved?
gosh.
Do you know which Third Reich dictator the universities couldn't get enough of?
What? Hitler?
No, another Third Reich dictator.
Himmler.
Himmler. I knew it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Brock.
By the way,
Finally some
everything, all this subjectivity and reality is subjective. This is all out of Hitler's fucking book.
You know, Rucka. The problem with the Rucka is
Yeah.
I don't think. Yeah, I may be wrong, but I don't think you've ever had a class in formal logic. Is that correct?
You're saying I'm not as logical as you?
No. I said something
I
very
have
specific.
not literally taken a formal logic class.
Okay, correct.
I have, however, used logic my entire life.
You think
something
you
you
think you
cannot
do.
say
You
you've
think you
done.
You think you do.
Oh.
But when you take a formal logic class,
Yeah.
you are exposed
Oh.
to truth tables. Yeah. And you learn something that most people take for granted. Because all the Ruckas of the world, they just choose to think that.
Wait,
that just
most
choose
people
to be,
take for
to think
granted?
no, hold on. Let me finish this.
Mm-hmm.
You just choose to think. You just choose to embrace formal logic, even though you don't know what it is. You just use it innately. You don't.
I didn't say innately.
Well, it has to be taught to you.
Yes.
Okay, so once logic is taught to you, you're saying that people can use logic to choose to be logical, but you can't use logic if you haven't been.
I didn't
taught
say you
it.
use logic to choose to be logical.
Then why would anyone choose to think? Why would anyone choose not to think?
To understand reality and to act accordingly.
Well, that's
You
a
use-
logical argument.
Once you've begun to think, you then use logic to expand your knowledge.
So first, but you're saying that the choice to think
Mm-hmm.
is not a logical choice.
Well, logic means it follows from something.
It follows from something. And you
Yeah.
just gave me an explanation for why people would choose to think. To understand the universe, right?
Yeah, to understand reality around them.
And that's a logical choice. So follow me.
I didn't say it's a logical choice.
It is a logical choice. I don't care what you say. It is a logical choice.
Why is it? How is it? Okay, it's a logical choice.
It is.
Okay.
That's my point. You cannot use logic if you haven't been taught it.
There's the fact that the academics are idiots who have upheld. Listen, you agree that, say, Einstein and the quantum physicists don't always agree with one another. They're both academic. They both went to college. They both have published work in acclaimed journals. and yet they disagree with each other. So one of them has to be right, and one of them has to be wrong at least part of the time where they disagree. So, yes, in both cases, you've got scientists, acclaimed academic journalists who have had their works published, and people have learned their shit sitting in a classroom somewhere, and yet some of it was still incorrect. So if you go to a stupid fucking class where they teach you that reality is somewhat subjective and there is no objective fact, or that you're incapable of being objective, you are learning to be stupider in school than you were going into that school.
Okay.
And I will also add to that and say an infant and a fucking dog, your favorite animal, and a bird, and every fucking animal out there on some level understands the fact that reality is objective and that they don't create it with their mind. You need to be an academic. You need to be an academic to believe something as stupid as subjectivity.
Yeah, because everybody's just agreed already. Your philosophy is not up for debate. Your philosophy is just how the world is. Let me finish the thing. The point I started with this, and the reason I don't think you've been exposed to formal logic.
Yeah,
because there are three states in reality in the world. There's true, there's false, and then there is the indeterminate state, which means you don't know. And sometimes, not only do you not know, you can't know. And that's why the Heisenberg uncertainty principle is such an important philosophy. And not even a philosophy, it's a fact about the universe. There are certain things we cannot know. Like, for example, right now, if I ask you guys, and anyone listening at home, is the sun active right now? Is the sun shining? Well, you can look outside and see that the sun is shining and say yes. But you don't know, because the time it takes for the light to reach Earth from the sun is 8 minutes. So if the sun exploded right now in this reality, we wouldn't know about it for 8 minutes.
Okay, so you can then, however, know.
But before we jump to conclusions,
okay.
Right now, if I ask you the question, is the sun exploded or not? The answer is, I don't know.
But I can tell you within a margin of 8 minutes that I do know. I could be, if I'm wrong, it's within the margin of 8 minutes.
I didn't ask that question.
Okay.
I didn't ask, hey, Rucka, in 8 minutes, is the sun exploded?
You're saying because there's some information I don't have access to at the moment with my current tools, that therefore reality itself is subjective?
Certain aspects of reality may be subjective, yes. But you know what? We'll talk about this a little bit more. I got a lot of voicemail. We can talk about this.
All right.
First voicemail. This is a familiar voice. Listen to this.
Lord Maddox, it's James Elias.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me on your show. So, I'm looking at this poll, and it looks like your audience agrees with me. There is a such thing as objective reality. So, maybe you should take a leaf out of their book. Maybe read some more about that. Read Atlas Shrugged. By the way, how has Rucka not forced you to read that book yet? Anyway, audience, you should read it as well. If you can't read, I know a lot of your audience, Maddox, can't read. If you can't, just go to AynRand.org and watch some videos. Learn about objectivism.
Yeah.
Do it.
Now I don't even want to read it.
I mean, that was cringe. It's so obvious. It's so obvious, I think, where this philosophy comes from. It's basically people who believe like you have read one or two Ayn Rand books, then that your entire shitty worldview is
two
tinged
things.
by her
James is socially awkward sometimes, but you tell me not to judge a class I haven't taken. You clearly know nothing about what's contained in that book.
I do have an idea.
I'll
read the look.
You're not going to read shit. You won't even read a fucking Post-it note that I tell you to read.
I'll read whatever you think will persuade me. If you think it'll persuade me, I'll read it.
I don't think it'll persuade you, because you need to be somewhat open-minded to be open to something. But
that's literally what I just said. Is open-minded.
You'll be open to it when an acclaimed professor tells you it's worth your time.
No, Brock, I just said that I'm open to reading an idea I may disagree with, but I mean, isn't that fundamentally the mark of an open mind?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think that's an Aristotle quote. In fact,
the
mark of an educated mind is entertaining a thought, even if you don't necessarily agree with it.
Right. Yeah.
Here's a voicemail. So he talked about objectivism. We got a voicemail about that. Here's a rebuttal to that. Listen to this guy.
Hey, Maddox. This is a call out for James when he said that self-dishonesty isn't in people's best interest and they're harming themselves by not being informed. It's true that many people are too uninformed or confused, but in honesty to its extreme, people would experience total incoherence. Our minds are built on heuristics because if we were to take everything in entirely honestly, it would take infinite time to process the infinite data contained in just one moment.
Okay, this voicemail goes on, but I want to pause it there because that's an important point. Do you understand what a heuristic decision is?
No.
Okay, Brock, have you ever heard of this expression?
No.
A heuristic decision is kind of an estimation that we all make. So, for example, should you walk down a dark alley at night? We kind of at a glance, we have a gut feeling, and the answer is no. But you didn't really consider all the infinite factors that go into making that decision. All you did is, based on what you already know, made a quick judgment. There is no rational reason for you to be afraid to walk down that alley because you can't predict the future. You cannot know that there is somebody down the alley or there isn't somebody down the alley until you've walked down it and observed it. You cannot predict that, some other cataclysmic event may happen or the alley might have a dead end or any number of factors. All you've done is made a quick judgment based on your preconceived notions, your biases, your experiences in life. We make those decisions all the time. If you come to a fork in the road and you're lost, you turn left or right. There is no rational answer for that, but based on your heuristic decisions, you quickly make an estimation based on how you feel, based on what direction looks better, based on a number of factors that are not rational. And that's what that guy is saying. If we considered every possible fact, and which we can't because we only have a limited amount of time, a limited amount of resources, limited ability to gather that information with our senses, you would have no time to do anything else. That's why we make these decisions all the time. Choosing the color of pen in a doctor's office, choosing a type of cereal when you're walking down the aisle. There's no rational reason for that. It's a heuristic choice. That's what that guy's saying. Let's listen to the rest of the voicemail, though, and I'll let you respond too.
A philosophy calling itself objectivist is like all the religions that describe themselves as the one true way. The way objectivists use the word reason reminds me of the way religions use the word truth to attempt to shut off doubt in people who are invested. James, you fucking dipshit. Physicist, more like busy cyst. No, but seriously, a paper making the case that entanglement is causality happening faster than light is really smart and should be applauded. Maddox, you're indescribable. James was awesome. Weird Matthew, you're awesome. Rucka, the show wouldn't be the same without you, tautologically speaking. All right, brainwash a Nazi.
Yeah.
All right, Rucka, what do you have to say then?
Well, speaking of reading, he sounds great reading down that voicemail he wrote down.
He actually did, yeah.
Of course he did. Listen, skepticism is a mental disorder. That's the only conclusion I've come to. This whole you can't really know. You guys are anti-science. You guys are anti-enlightenment. We were living like miserable peasants in the Dark Ages when man unearthed science and began inventing things and paying attention to reality. You want to say, we can't know for sure. Okay, but we can know for sure because we're acting accordance to reality and making the world a wonderful place to live. I don't know how a bunch of fat Americans playing with fucking toys all day want to try and convince me that empirical science isn't really empirical and that reason is fallible. The point of reason is that you use evidence accordingly. I don't know what else to tell you. Skepticism is what's wrong with the world. Skepticism is the truest of closed-mindedness, and skepticism is what paves the way for dictators, paves the way for religious fanaticism, and paves the way for Maddox.
Rucka, you cannot be more wrong. Skepticism is what created the Enlightenment. Skepticism is where science came from. Skepticism is somebody saying, God created everything? Well, I don't know about that. Skepticism is somebody saying, the Earth is the center of the universe? I don't know about that.
And if you were educated, you would know what I meant by skepticism. I didn't mean being skeptical.
Only skeptical of things that you don't believe. Because the second somebody questions your philosophy, your beliefs, your tenets, then they are being idiots.
No, they are saying you cannot prove anything because you can never know for sure.
Nobody's saying you cannot prove anything.
That's exactly what the caller said.
No.
He said we're using reason like it's infallible. The whole point of reason is that it is is that what you discover is fallible. It is open to scrutiny. When I say skepticism, the skeptics were a philosophical movement which continues to this day, which says you cannot know anything and nor should you really want to. That's what I mean by skepticism. So you want to condescend to me or do you want to learn something?
Oh, that didn't sound condescending at all. Rucka, this belief, this philosophy, and it is a belief of objectivism.
Oh, yeah, you hear that?
It is.
Yeah,
It is a belief.
reason is a belief.
Hold on, follow me
You
here.
hear that, Brock?
Rucka, just
Yeah.
because you have a reason doesn't
Well, don't
just
fucking-
because you have a principle doesn't mean it's a good one. Just because you have a reason doesn't mean it's a rational one.
Exactly.
It's a heuristic one. And let me ask you this. This
Yeah.
belief that you have in objectivism, is it fallible?
A word, by the way, that I've never brought onto the show. So you want to
we got a bunch of callers calling
Okay,
about it. So
it's a
clearly
word.
it came up.
I've never come on the show and said, "Here, let's talk about objectivism." I've merely challenged your skepticism, your anti-reality belief that nothing is possibly
That's
known.
not my belief.
It's what you advocate for every single day.
Wrong.
Okay.
My belief is,
Yeah.
like I said, I'll repeat it again because it bears worth repeating. There are things that we know that are true. There are things that we know that are false. And there are things that we know are indeterminate. And that's the reality we live in. We cannot know everything simultaneously. It's impossible. There are too many variables to consider. Really, right now, your state of existence is only an approximation to me. Because all I know that about your existence right now is that I can see you and I can hear you. And if I get up across the room and
Keep going.
and body slam you like
I
you would a dog.
I thought kisses were going to be
Keep
involved.
going.
Kisses, maybe,
Kisses
but probably
and then
not.
bodies.
It's unlikely. The probability is very low. But I can only infer so much about you. I don't know how you feel inside your head. I can only ask you questions, and then you can only, with your limited vocabulary, and it is limited. All our vocabularies are limited.
Well, especially mine.
Well, just in
Yeah,
English.
I get. I'm following.
If you can only, to a limited accuracy, explain your mental state to me. You can, if you're feeling a headache, you can use the words that we have all learned as children to describe pain, but you can't really explain to a high, with an infinite degree of accuracy, the pain that you're feeling. And I'll never know because I can't be inside you, and I can't.
What's your point?
I can't feel you.
What's your point?
The point is that that's an indeterminate state of your existence.
Okay.
I can only infer certain things about you, but I can never know with a high degree of accuracy, with an infinite degree of accuracy, how you feel. You can only communicate that to me. True or false?
Yeah, if you're saying there are some things you don't know or maybe cannot know, some things.
Thank you. There you go. That's the entire.
You don't
that's
have
the entire crux
You
of the
don't
debate.
have access to all the information in the world.
Correct. And that's why things are true, things are false, or things are indeterminate.
No.
And just because
All right.
you can acknowledge that things are indeterminate doesn't mean all of reality has to be
I didn't
subjective.
say I acknowledge that some things are indeterminate. If indeterminate
You just
means
did.
I never said that. I said there are some things you don't currently have access to knowing of, but existence still exists, whether or not you're conscious of it.
Okay. Well, here's another caller. We can continue to talk about this. I just want to, for the sake of expediency, we got another caller. Listen to this. This is a correction about something we brought up.
Yo, this is Pork Beast. I'm calling to say a couple things. 1, Ruckin is amazing.
True.
2, Maddox, you're terrible.
True.
3, your physics guest needs to go back to basic bitch quantum mechanics class and review the Heisenberg uncertainty principle because it is not a function of the observer effect. The Heisenberg uncertainty principle is a function of wave mechanics, and I would urge him to go back and look at Fourier transforms and conjugate variables because the Heisenberg uncertainty principle can be defined mathematically by looking at the function of waves. It is not related to how good our technology is at measuring shit.
So that is a good call. He's pointing out a correction. So right before we did that episode, I did research about the Heisenberg uncertainty principle, and I did find that there is a way to describe the the velocity and position of a particle with converting it to basically to waves, and you can use wave math. To James's credit, he was trying to keep it very accessible. I think that James knows this as someone who's working on his master's in physics. especially with quantum entanglement. James definitely knows that. I think that he was just trying to make it accessible to our audience. But thank you for the call nonetheless. Here's another call that brought up something I think I touched on inadvertently. I didn't know it was this school of thought, but listen to this.
Hey, Maddox. I really enjoyed the discussion that you and James Elliott had about quantum mechanics. I was just surprised that since so much of the debate was around Heisenberg uncertainty, that no one brought up Gödel's incompleteness theorem. And I guess for people who may not know what that implies, it's that even if we solved Heisenberg uncertainty, there would still be things that are objectively true in our universe, but which can never be proven as true. I think a bit more in-depth explanation of it is that no matter what your starting observations or axioms are, there will always be some truths that just cannot be proven, but are nonetheless true. Keep up the great show. Bye.
Yeah, that's a great point. It's something I was dancing around, but I didn't know that there was an actual formal philosophy or school of thought about that. I think that's what I was trying to explain earlier, Rucka. Do you agree with that, or do you think it's
agree with what?
What the caller was saying about
I don't know what he said.
The incompleteness theorem, which is there are some things that are true in the universe. Like, for example, a blind person can't see the color of an object, but nonetheless, to people who can see color, there is a color attribute to that object. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm. Everything that exists exactly the way that it exists. Its characteristics are exactly what they are, whether or not any living thing is ever going to be conscious of it or know it exists. Everything is what it is. That's what I believe. I'm not going to use words to explain that away. Oh, this is the quietest I've ever seen you.
I mean, it just sounds to me like if it's a belief that you have,
it's a belief that everything is what it is,
that is not falsifiable, then it is.
What?
Okay, a scientific belief,
mm-hmm.
a scientific one, has to be falsifiable.
It has to be proved wrong.
There has to be a possibility to prove it wrong. If you can't even test your belief, then it is not scientific. It is dogma.
What I'm saying is philosophical, and as you would probably agree, philosophy does have axioms, because if you have to prove everything, you can't really prove anything, because you have to start somewhere. So where I'm starting is saying what exists. Existence exists.
Okay.
Because that proves itself. That's an axiom.
You're just spouting tautologies constantly.
No, I don't know. I don't even know that word.
A tautology is a statement that's always true. A equals A.
Okay, that's exactly what I'm saying. A is A.
Okay. Mm-hmm. But you've gained no knowledge.
You have. You've just gained the tool that will allow you to gain knowledge. It's no coincidence that Aristotle came up with both the law of identity, which is what I just discussed, and also the scientific method, as far as I know. It's no coincidence, because once you've confirmed that everything is what it is, then you can form hypotheses and theses and experiments and find and discover and arrive at conclusions.
Wrong.
No?
Wrong. No.
Okay.
First of all, there's many different. The scientific method has evolved over time. There's different steps to it. Some people think there's 3 or 4 steps.
There are certain steps which don't involve everything being what it is.
That's never been. That's science doesn't require philosophy, and if your fucking beliefs cannot be falsified, then it's a religion.
Science doesn't require everything to be what it is.
Science requires your theories to be falsifiable.
Well, the law of identity proves itself. It cannot cease to be true.
Rucka, if you're born and raised in an empty room, blank room.
Very strange.
You sit around. Let's just say,
I'll go here.
You're put in jail. You're put in an insane asylum. Someone puts you in a padded room, and you have nothing but white walls around you.
Okay.
Do you think that there's anything you can learn about the universe beyond outside of that those white walls?
I mean, outside the walls, if I have no access to finding out, I suppose I cannot.
Okay.
But I can confirm that the walls exist.
I mean, how do you know you're not just a simulation?
Why do you need to be in a padded room to make the ridiculous Matrix simulation argument?
Well, if you make a computer program, I can make a computer program. The Cartesian philosophy is that I think, therefore I am. Right?
I don't agree with that.
You don't agree that that's evidence?
I am, therefore I'll think.
Oh, gosh. All right. Look,
yeah, sorry. You're the dogmatic one. You're the dogmatic one. You're the one throwing cliches at me, saying the law of identity is not self-evident, but what Descartes says, now that's fucking solid. That cannot be challenged.
The law of identity is a semantic. It's something that completely exists in our minds. It's abstract.
No, the law of identity says everything is what it is.
Yes, you're agreeing with me.
Right. So it does. It exists. I mean,
it's an abstract belief
about concretes.
Okay,
again, listen.
Let's move on.
Okay, we'll move on. We'll move on as soon as I just say, let the record show. Maddox is anti-science. I just want anti-enlightenment.
Rucka is the most anti-science. Anytime I bring out any kind of scientific argument or literature or anything he doesn't believe in, anything that falsifies any of his preconceived notions or any of his shitty beliefs about, even today, you literally question science that you haven't read and question scientists you don't know anything about. You just automatically say, oh, well, if they are making the argument that matter, that life is a state of matter, they must be wrong.
Wait, of course, we are literally made of matter. We are made of material.
They're saying that life is a state of matter. So that if you came across a rock tumbling on the surface of Mars, and it was just kind of moving in a way that can't be described purely by gravity, then scientists would argue that rock is alive. Even if it doesn't exhibit higher levels of thinking, even if it doesn't exhibit a central nervous system, if it's moving in a way that can't be described by the pure physical forces, the strong nuclear force, the weak nuclear force, gravity, and the electromagnetic force. If it can't be described by those forces, then they're saying that matter has a state of being alive. And that's all it is. It's a new school of thought. It's controversial. I'm not saying
definitely
I agree
new.
or disagree with it.
Yeah, it's definitely a new school.
Having without even read any of that stuff. You call me unscientific without even.
I call you unscientific because you won't even give me the law of identity.
That's not science.
Okay,
that's
right.
Not science.
But science rests on philosophy. It rests on everything being what it is. The law of identity is what allows you to be scientific. And when you become a fucking Descartesian, as you are, and you start saying, I think, therefore I am, my consciousness comes before existence, and you completely abandon the original axioms that allowed you to be scientific, then you find yourself down the line embracing all types of pseudoscience, believing that a rock on Mars is alive. That's where you end up, but I'm the one who you want to ridicule and say, what a fucking religious nut job. He believes everything exists that exists.
It's so weird. I spent my entire career in college taking physics classes, biology classes, astronomy classes.
Is that what your career is?
Chemistry. Let me finish.
Okay.
Chemistry classes, all the hard sciences. I studied rigorous mathematics in college. I learned abstract number theory. I learned practical math. I learned all these hard sciences. I spent my entire career.
Yeah.
And it's weird that not a single time, not once, in any of these classes, in any of these disciplines, did we talk about the law of identity. We need to understand the law of identity.
That's the problem.
Because philosophy doesn't belong in science. The hard sciences don't contemplate philosophy or existence.
How do you study science? The long hard science is if you can't first agree, if you can't first know that what exists.
Yeah, it's weird, Rucka. Maybe it's not necessary to.
It's not necessary.
First of all, because it is a philosophy, and philosophies are up for debate. Science is not. Science.
Yes.
If you have a belief that is not falsifiable, that is dogma. That is religion.
Saying everything is what it is dogma.
Have you ever met anyone who disagrees with that statement?
Yes, you.
Oh, just me? Or anyone else?
And any other dumbass that went to college and believed like a lapdog took whatever these idiot aging liberal douches fed to them.
So people who disagree with you are just idiots.
If they're as closed-minded and incoherent as you.
And that's what the caller was saying, is that you have something in common. Let me finish. You have something in common with people who are religious, which is If you don't agree with me, you're stupid.
You're more religious than me, first of all. Second of all, skepticism is the most closed-minded form of religion I've ever seen. And you know what I mean by skepticism? I don't mean being skeptical of things. I mean of being married to the idea that knowledge is impossible, which is exactly what you continuously try to pose against me.
Wrong.
Yes, it is exactly what you say.
I absolutely don't.
Okay,
No.
yes, there are some places where I overlap with religious people in the sense that they believe what they think what they believe is true, and I think what I believe is true. However, I reduce it down to the senses and the law of identity, which says everything is what it is. I can't even get you to agree with me that everything is what it is, but I'm the religious one. When you treat professors at universities like religious people treat the Pope.
Rucka.
Yes?
This belief that you have,
Mm-hmm.
can it be falsified?
Which belief?
That it is what it is. You keep calling it
It proves
a law.
itself.
You keep then that's a tautology and it can't be falsified. Just like people who say God exists and God created everything.
There is no evidence that God exists.
Well, there's no. Can you falsify your belief that it is what it is?
It proves itself, so you can. If by disproving it, you end up proving it.
Have you ever heard of the paradox, Brock? Have you heard of this paradox before? Where
Yes,
I came here to talk about dogs.
Yeah.
I'll just ask. I'll just ask it.
By the way, dogs get this stuff more than you, Maddox.
No. Yeah, dogs have. I would say you share in common.
Absolutely,
the cognitive ability.
I will
of a
align
dog.
myself with dogs any day of the week. Dogs, they realize that what exists clearly exists.
Yeah.
You need to be an academic to believe something as stupid as that. Oh, it's religion to think that things exist.
Yeah. Look, I'm just gonna add the word law in front of my beliefs, and then just suddenly, magically, they can't be questioned. They can't be challenged. Rucka, look up falsifiability. You need to have your beliefs be falsifiable in order for them to be scientific. If it's not falsifiable, it's not science, end of story. It's a philosophy, it's a belief, and just because you put the word law in front of identity doesn't mean it's a fact.
Are you disputing that everything is what it is, or are you not disputing that?
It's a philosophy, Rucka, and I've given you a number of examples where things can be true, things can be false, and things can be indeterminate. Yes, I have.
You've given me certain places and times when you don't know the answer to something.
That's my point.
But that thing still, the nature of it still is what it is.
How do you prove it?
If it exists, it exists.
How do you prove it?
I'm not called upon to prove it because I don't have access to prove it. But I can tell you.
So I don't have evidence, but it exists. Trust
me. If it
me.
exists in the universe, I know that by the nature of existence, everything is what it is.
Rucka, we're dancing around the same thing. We're going around in circles. We need to move on to the next voicemail.
Let's move on, Barker.
Brocker.
Yeah.
We've been keeping poor Bart waiting this entire time. Yeah. Here's another voicemail, Rucka. You talked about possibly writing a book at some point during one of the earlier episodes.
Sounds like something I would say.
Hey, so you guys brought up Rucka writing a book. I think that's a pretty good idea. I think Rucka's got some really interesting ideas. If you can figure out some kind of premise, like to write a book, maybe he knew someone that had kind of experience writing books or getting books published. I don't know if Rucka knows anyone like that, but maybe if he does, he could reach out to them and maybe they could work together and come up with something. And, Rucka could be a published author. Good.
Well, if I ever hope to gain that person's respect, I'll have to publish something. Yeah.
I'll agree with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Amazing. It's religion to believe that everything is what it is, Brock, but you know how something becomes irrefutable? You have a publishing company press it on a written piece of paper with a hardcover around it. Then it cannot be disputed.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Here's another voicemail. I think this guy might agree with you, Rucka. Listen to this.
Finally.
Maddox, if you think that the fact that our experiences are just mental construction challenges the idea of objective reality, then why don't you eat shit? Nutrition, infection, and the taste of human feces are just mental constructions, right? You fucking solipsist.
Of course.
And if you think that objective reality can't exist simultaneously for everyone, then what is time, you dipshit? What happens when millions of people simultaneously observe the same solar eclipse? Or better yet, Maddox, what's happening when your FedEx tracker shows that your hentai waifu pillow is out for delivery? Is your boner just a construct?
Yeah.
Jeez, Maddox, wake the fuck up. Rucka, you're cool.
Thanks.
Debate a Nazi.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Oh, man, what a moron. So,
Yeah.
Hey, Maddox, if objective reality doesn't exist, how do you explain time?
oh, you mean that thing that Einstein is famously known for proving is relative? That thing?
How about his point about eating shit? Why don't you eat shit? If there's this, what was it? There's truth, there's falsehood, and then indeterminate.
Yes.
Why not eat shit if you can't really know? It's religion to think that shit is different than pizza.
Because shit
It's
is not
religion.
indeterminate.
Oh, so religious. This guy is so religious. He won't eat shit because he thinks shit is shit and pizza is pizza.
I know what shit smells like.
He believes his senses. So religious.
Ugh.
So religious.
First of all, I know what shit smells like and sounds like because you keep talking. Boom. Yeah. Here's another voicemail. This is about Black Mirror.
Hey, Maddox. I just had an idea for a show debate. I think you should do what is the best episode of Black Mirror. But I think you should do that, and you could get like a guest star that, like, I don't know, a writer for a show or something. Yeah, so think about it. It would be awesome. Okay, bye.
All right. If we can get an actual writer or actor or producer, director from Black Mirror on the show, I think we'll talk about that. Otherwise, it's a show that not a lot of, I mean, a lot of people have seen it, but a lot of people haven't. I think more people haven't seen Black Mirror than have.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think any babies have watched Black Mirror.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I bet some have.
Maybe they've caught glimpses of the TV, but
it's indeterminate.
It is indeterminate. Thank you, Rucka.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Here's one last voicemail. Rucka, this one's about you. Listen.
Hey, Lord Maddox, it's me. Rucka's hair keeps getting taller and taller. I'm afraid that it's going to go out of frame one day. I don't know how his hair works, but it's kind of, I think, breaking some laws of physics. Maybe that can be the next debate. Fuck whales.
Yeah, fuck whales to you too. Rucka's I've been noticing week after week there are comments about how tall your hair is getting. It's getting very tall.
Well, I'm trying to pick up where nature left off.
Oh, hey, there you go. There you go. There's a strategy. Yeah, well, only one of us can do that. With hair anyway. Guys, we should move on to some quick news headlines. A paper cup allegedly used by Elvis Presley is up for auction. This is according to U.S. News. In Tulsa, Oklahoma, a paper cup alleged. And now I like that they use the word allegedly. You know, they're not that careful when they're talking about people who've committed crimes. You know, robberies, rapes, murders, things like that. They're not that careful to use the word allegedly in those headlines.
I think they are usually pretty careful.
Well, they try to, but I've seen a number of headlines where they accidentally omit that. But with
this one, the paper cup.
Oh yeah, in the headline, in the article, number of times it says allegedly. A paper cup allegedly used by Elvis Presley 6 decades ago in Oklahoma is up for auction, and bids have already surpassed $1,200. And that's as of this recording, so it could be higher now.
Idiots.
Probably is.
Oh, yeah.
North Carolina resident Wade Jones is a collector of all things Elvis. He tells the Tulsa World that the crumpled blue and white Dixie cup, it was crumpled. It's not even a whole Dixie cup.
I don't want this anymore.
Yeah, I'm done with it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. It was snagged by a fan in April of 1956 after Elvis performed at the Tulsa Fairgrounds Pavilion. How do you even fucking prove a thing like that?
Exactly.
I'm going to sell crumpled Elvis cups. Alleged.
Oh, yeah.
I love how alleged is used like somebody did something wrong.
Yeah.
Like you're accusing.
Jones says a fan named June allegedly retrieved the cup the day after the performance, right after Elvis left town for a show in Oklahoma City. A letter accompanying the collector's item says that June had asked to keep the cup as a little memento. Elvis, what do you think about that? Is that okay to keep that cup?
No.
Well, wrong, apparently, because June hung on to the cup. Bids for the now yellowed paper cup had surpassed... Oh, okay, it says earlier $1,200, and now it says $1,280 on eBay. So which is it? By midday, it was $1,280. So this, in the time it took for the...
They were writing it, and it got the bids were high.
Yeah, they got an update.
And they didn't go back and...
They didn't go back and change it. So in the time it took to write this article, it went up $80, and they just said, okay, and now, as of this writing, it's gone up by another $80. Midday Wednesday, Jones said that the auction closes Sunday evening. So guys... By the time this episode comes out, we will know how much the cup sold for.
This is eBay, yeah?
Yeah, eBay.
You know what? eBay is such bullshit because, like, you just have to be there at the last minute and, like, quickly bid.
Exactly.
And, like, it's just, like, a matter of chance who clicks at the last split
It's always
second.
the last.
Yeah.
I've gotten so angry.
nanosecond.
I've gotten so angry when I lost. I lost out a bid on a computer one time. It was a decent deal at the first offering price. It was like $600,
Cool.
and then the retail price of this computer was like $800. So I was bidding, $50 increments. Went up to $650, $750, and then it was the last $50. And somebody bid the full retail price, and I sent the person a message. I said, "Hey, what the fuck are you doing? This thing retails for $800. Why not just buy it new for retail price if you're just going to pay the full thing and stop wasting everyone's time?" And this girl wrote back. She goes, "Don't you criticize the way I bid on things on eBay. It's none of your business."
It's none of your business.
Hey, it is my fucking... You wasted my whole fucking afternoon. I'm sitting here. You're going to pay the same fucking price, dipshit. My time's valuable. I don't know about yours, you moron. $50? Leave the last $50. Anyway, Dutch police are confiscating expensive clothes from kids who look too poor to wear them. What do you think of this?
What can go wrong?
Yeah, this is the story I thought would trigger Rucka. This is from QZ.com. What does that stand for? Quartz? QZ?
QZ.
Yeah, I don't know. Police in the city of Rotterdam in the Netherlands are taking a controversial approach to reducing crime. They'll soon begin a pilot program targeting young men in designer clothes that the police believe they couldn't afford legally. If it's not clear how the person paid for the clothing, the police may confiscate it. "We know that they have clothes that are too expensive to wear with the money they get," a spokesperson for the department says. "We're going to look at how they get those clothes. Where did they buy them from? And where the money came from to buy them." Rotterdam police will run the program for a limited time to start to see how effective it is. They're doing it in collaboration with the public prosecution department, which will help determine what can be legally confiscated. And this is the part that's kind of bonkers, 1984. Listen to this. "But while there may be legal reviews of what the policemen can ultimately keep, they'll still be taking clothes from those they suspect in the moment. We're going to undress them on the street," says Frank Poix, chief of Rotterdam, as he told the Telegraph in Dutch. He said that the suspects often act as if they're untouchable, and their flashy clothes send the wrong signal to other residents in Rotterdam.
Where's Rotterdam?
In the Netherlands. It's a Dutch.
Really?
Yeah.
What are they wearing? Like king's robes, like royal purple.
Yeah, they're walking around in
Crowns,
crowns.
But they're dirt, like they haven't showered.
Yeah. Hey, poor boy.
In weeks.
Where'd you get that? Where'd you get that crown?
Where'd you get those jewels?
Yeah, where'd you get those jewels, poor boy? Come over here, Popper. Where'd you get that scepter?
Yeah.
What do you think of this policy, Rucka?
I don't support it.
No, I didn't think so. Here's one last story. Someone made a fundraiser to save a pony who lost his penis to frostbite.
Well, that's nice.
Well, the full story isn't as it isn't as hilarious because there was other complications. The pony also had some type of cancer. A Maine animal rescue group says it has raised enough money to save a 15-year-old pony that lost part of its penis due to cancer and frostbite. Brighton-based animal rescue unit took over care of the pony that was suffering from cancer and infection. Brogan Horton said the temperatures plummeting to 25 below exacerbated the problem, causing part of the animal's flesh to break off during an examination.
Gosh.
Oh, man. So it wasn't even off yet. They were probably
shipped off.
Yeah, they were probably prodding this thing. Like, hey, look at this thing. Is it supposed to be that stiff? And then part of it fucking broke off. The animal named Richard. Oh my gosh.
Richard.
The animal's name is
great
Richard.
name for a pony.
Yeah, will be spared from being euthanized thanks to a fundraising campaign. So first of all, these dipshit scientists, these animal rescue people come over to this fucking pony, knock its dick off,
3D print a new one.
And then they're like being magnanimous and be like, you know what? We're not going to put this one down. This wasn't a heartwarming story. This is just them feeling guilty for knocking a horse's dick off.
Yeah.
Richard. Anyway, they surpassed their goal of raising $4,000 for care, including reconstruction. Oh my gosh, this horse out there has a fake cock on it now. Reconstruction? They can't even do that with humans. How do you make a fake horse cock? All we know how to do is cut shit off.
Yeah.
You don't want
put a strap on the on the pony. Problem solved.
Just look for the horse with a perfect cock out on the field.
Always erect.
Yeah, hot pink. That's what I'd want. You know, if I'm gonna if I'm gonna get my dick replaced, give me an 8-inch hot pink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So like a white guy's dick?
I wouldn't know. I've never seen one. Anyway, Brock, thank you so much for coming on the show. Is there anything you want to plug before we go?
I guess just like my YouTube channel, youtube.com/McGoiter. I post videos.
McGoiter? Hold on.
Very inconsistent.
I don't even know how to spell that.
McGoiter. McGoiter. Yeah. I post videos very infrequently, very inconsistently, but when I do, oh boy, watch out.
Yeah. Brock's a very funny dude and great videos on your channel. Please check them out. And I did a voice in one of your videos not too long ago, right? The Jack Nicholson, The Shining.
Yeah. You did a voice for a few of my videos, actually.
Yeah, a couple of.
Yeah, I did a dub of The Shining.
Man, I wish I had this whole setup back when you needed those voices, because I think I recorded that. I was like in a panic. I ran to Radio Shack buying cables and shit. I'm like, Brock needs. And now I have this amazing setup, and everything sounds amazing. So check it out, guys. We'll link to it on the website. Brock, thank you so much for coming on the show. Thank you to my Maharaja of moderation, Rucka Rucka. But most of all, you're welcome.
Hey Maddox, just calling in about the last debate. I think it's a lot. Fucking hell. Alright, give me another try.
Okay, so usually I don't play their second tries, but here's what he called in twice to say. Listen to this.
Hey Maddox, so I think this last debate is actually the first one where I didn't lose brain cells listening to it. Good work.
Yeah, are you sure about that?
I think because he was all out of them.
Oh.
He didn't have any more. He didn't have any more to lose. Ooh. Hot take.
Yeah.
Hot take.
Yeah.
Hey there. Don't forget to subscribe to Madcast shows on iTunes, Stitcher, or your favorite podcast app. Okay, bye. Madcast Media Network.